All right, that was an accident. Sorry about that, folks. Uh, I went to adjust something and I actually hit the wrong button when I did it. So, oops. Uh, there we go. There we go. I like how it just started and I already have a thumbs down. That is absolutely hilarious. Like, are you serious? Yeah. That is too funny. And paste. I went to adjust the setting and I ended up clicking on the end by accident inside of where I was. Pig then poor. Yeah. Yeah. I'm an idiot. My day. Second favorite. All right. I got to send someone a link because I can't get in. All right. And copy, paste. So, yeah. I'll get those two back in here. They'll be here in a moment. They're laughing at me as well. What I get for clicking the wrong button. It was red, though, damn it. Yeah. Here we go. How you doing there, Raven?
Yeah, not too bad yourselves.
Not too bad. How's it going in that tank, buddy? Getting any better?
Looking a lot better.
Cool. Good. I just messaged you, Jeeves, in your stream, like, hey, man, what's going on? And 10 minutes later, I still hadn't got a response. So I figured you were just too busy playing. I think you were playing PUBG, I think. Or you were playing Fortnite. I wasn't really sure. I'm not big up on those. So you have a crush on Trudeau? Good for you, man. Swear to God, that's all that guy's interested in is being popular. I don't know why he bothered becoming president. He was more popular when he smoked dope. All right, should have Narcosis back in a minute. Cruz will be back in a minute. They will continue their conversation. And I will go pick up my wife, who's off early. So I bet you're trying to get rested up. That'd be a lot of driving. It's not my favorite thing. I can drive from just the experience of doing it, but it's not doesn't mean I enjoy it. So oh, that's okay. If I had caught it, because I was going to ask you, would you mind if I start? And I thought, oh, I'm just going to start. We're doing totally different thing, right? All right. Well, Jeff, if you don't mind, copy the link. It's up a little higher there. Make sure you have it. And I already sent off to the other ones that we're in. I'm going to go pick up my wife, and well, I got to wait for someone to get in here. That's the problem. No fun for everyone to sit here listening to nobody, right?
Exactly.
Oh, the minions are floating around, giving thumbs down. You got to love them. Yeah. It says I got 3 and 2 already. So 3 up, 2 down. Oh, I'm on the upside, though. That's always good. Yeah. Just always strike me as people that end up pleasuring themselves alone. You're a popular fella or gal, aren't you? Yeah. I'm feeling kind of goofy. That's what I do. I'm really good at it. Canadians are kind of goofy people. Let's face it, you wouldn't live in this environment for any other reason than you're kind of dumb. That's the way I feel about it. There's a serious lack of maturity floating around, let's just say. So, and that's all right. Guess what? I have seen other streams, and it's absolutely deplorable the behaviors that you see. I've seen Nightbot for some people catching stuff that just would floor you. That somebody would say that. Not as long-winded. What are you trying to say about me, Jeeves? I don't think it's an insult what he's saying. Is it an insult, Jeeves? Are you insulting me? That would be something we could talk about. Well, let's discuss why you hate me. Yeah, no. Hey, Bubba. No. So Cruz should be back in a minute. What the hell are you doing, Cruz? I bet you Narcosis is still in the other one that's dead, yakking his face off. His cousin, as it were. Let's see. There we go. All right. Well, once I get Cruz and maybe another couple in here, I am going to go get my wife, who's probably getting mad at me as we speak. But, you know, it's what it is. No, it's what it is. It's what do you want, buddy? My male cat sleeps on the back of my chair, so he's the only one that does it too. What do you want, weirdo? I don't have any crackers. Yeah. That's all he wants. You got food? Yeah. That's my cats. They're as bad as my fish. You got food? Nope. See ya.
Mm.
Their love is so conditional, isn't it?
Exactly.
But that's okay, because that's what they do. Yeah.
They seem to know, don't they?
Oh, they're absolute. My my male cat can hear a bag crinkling from a mile away. Loves ketchup chips. I don't know why he loves ketchup chips, but just loves ketchup chips. Yeah.
My dog can hear when I get cheese out.
Oh yeah.
Get cheese out the fridge. Bang.
Yeah. Hi. I see you have cheese. Yeah.
Yep.
Were you planning on sharing that with me? No, that's pretty much it, right? Yeah. Hey. Yeah, so Cruz, the link's up there if you want to hop in. And I did send one over to Mr. Williams there. He should have it. There we go. Cruz is going to help me out. Cruz is going to talk about bubbling. That's what he's going to do, right?
Now I feel like a freaking monkey with playing the cymbals.
There you go.
Play,
Damn,
monkey, play.
I hate Craig. Dance, slave, dance. I will,
Bubble
Jeeves.
monkey.
There we go. Bubble monkey. Bubble.
That's it.
I actually, I'm going to call you that forever now. Hey, Bubble Monkey.
Monkey balls.
Monkey balls. Yeah, we know what you were trying to do. Come on now. We've all been that lonely. Yeah.
Wanted to bubble. Wanted to feel something.
Yeah, exactly. All right. There we go.
Crazy.
Jeeves will be in here a sec. I'll be right back, folks. I literally am running up the street. Take me 2 minutes.
Alrighty. Bubba. Hi, trolls.
That's it.
That's funny. Stalkers, lurkers, trolls. Ah.
3 thumb down
Double
already.
XP weekend. Oh, what was that?
I'm going to say he's got 3 thumbs down already. 6
know,
likes.
Right?
Yeah, and there's only 10 people in.
That's strange.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. There's Bubble Scrubbing Reefer Madness, 68 views. Let's see. What was that, Max? Oh, wow. He didn't get any thumbs down on that one. Very nice. Bubble, Toil and Trouble. 1 thumbs down. Interesting. Which one do you want?
This one.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Sour?
Yep. Can you throw this in the trash, please?
Yeah.
Or throw it into the box? Mm-hmm. So how are you guys doing?
yep,
Doing
I'm
good?
doing pretty good. I am. Yeah, I'm doing good. I've just ordered my Max Spec Bio balls.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so hopefully get them in a day or two. So we'll see how they work out.
Okay.
Yeah. And my tank's clearing up a little bit as well. I stuck the return pump in the tank.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you see that. I had all the salt still needing to mix around a bit in the setup.
Gotcha.
So Nick was saying about take the return pump out, stick that in the actual aquarium as well, and that would just float around a bit. That seems to be working. So
Nick's pretty smart.
yeah, I've got a little wave maker in there, but it's just carry on mixing the salt. So
Okay.
yeah,
Sorry, I'm crunching. 1 second. 1 second.
that's fine.
Ah.
So let's say if I turn the lights back on, probably.
Good evening.
Hey, Kay. How's it going,
Hi.
Kev?
Yeah, nervous.
About what?
Yeah, my baby is come to this night or tomorrow. I don't know.
Hmm.
The lady is sleeping now, so we'll see. How are you all doing?
Yeah. Enjoying a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, afternoon. It's almost midnight here.
It certainly
Yeah,
is.
it's 4 o'clock over here. You guys are 8 hours ahead.
Yeah, it's 11.
Gotcha.
11:15.
Nice. Yeah, we're remodeling the downstairs bathroom right now.
Oh, that's a
So
funny job.
it's gonna be it's hell. It's hell.
Yeah, you can see it's looking a little bit clearer.
Oh, let's see. Where's the chat?
Yeah. Yeah, what's everyone else been up to then today? Anything exciting?
watching Power Rangers for the 5th time.
Power Rangers. Lovely.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, I watched
What
the
was
motor
that, Max?
racing.
Oh, how was that?
A really nasty accident with one of the pit crews on Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, broke his leg completely. Yeah, Kimi Räikkönen got the green light to go and just literally went and yeah, the poor guy's leg was mashed.
Ouch.
So,
Ouch.
yeah. So yeah. Yeah.
Good morning, roofers.
Hello.
All right, they're all thumbs.
Town.
So what is the topic of the day?
Oops.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oops, I dropped the
Oops.
whole can of food in the tank.
Oops.
Hey, give me
I
a second,
did it
guys.
again.
I need to bring in some groceries.
Overfeeding.
I'll be right back.
How's everybody tanks doing today?
Yeah, not too bad.
Anything new with it?
My tanks, no. No. I was just saying, I've just ordered me bio balls, my max spec bio balls.
Bio balls?
Yeah, the max spec ones.
The blue ones, right? Or you're talking about bio pearls?
No bio balls. They're nano bio balls from max spec.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Have you used those before? Or is that a new product?
it's a brand new product. So
Okay, can you explain to us what they do?
they're a bit like your blocks. Have you seen your blocks? Your what they're called?
Marine pier? It's kind of like marine pier.
Marine pier. Yeah. But these are balls. You can get them in the block, but what they're made out of? They're made out of beads. And the idea is like it gives a better flow through.
Okay.
So yeah, they look pretty good. And also with Marine Pure and Brightwell blocks and things like that, they disintegrate after a while. But these don't.
Yep.
They don't disintegrate. They stay as they are, so you can use them for a long time. So yeah, I can see if I can drop the link into them again.
So I'm thinking that they're probably made out of plastic.
I'm not
EPA
sure exactly what they're
plastic
made
or
out of.
something else?
I'm not exactly sure what they're made out of, truthful.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't actually.
And you're adding them onto a already existing system, or is this
It's a new system, new root
new
system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I've actually never seen them. But
yeah, I'll
sounds like an interesting concept.
Yeah, Aaron's aquarium. He's got them as well. So.
Oh yeah, so he uses them already.
I don't know if he's got them in his system at the moment, but I know he's got them.
Okay. Question is, where is all of those guys? Aaron's aquarium, Paul, Reef Dude, Seymour.
Yeah, there you go. That should be.
Dave's Nano Tank. Where they at?
Yeah. Right. That's the link. That's the link in the YouTube chat to the Max Spec bio balls. Like I say, they do a plate as well.
Yeah, I'm actually driving at the moment, so I'll be able to click on it later and check it out.
Yeah, I can. See if I can drop the link as well, I suppose.
We'll be there in a minute, bud.
Oh, it's just I write too much messages. Let me in the chat.
Okay, that's funny as hell. I think my female cat really hates my wife because she barfed on her side of the bed.
You have a
Lovely.
male cat that pees in the sink, and then a female cat
Oh,
that barfs.
it's like living with special needs. But they're not. They're extremely intelligent, so they're just needy. That's it.
Hmm.
What the?
About cats, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about my
Hey.
cats. They're crazy.
She's saying you bought the wrong food.
No. I think it was my male that threw up. He has a weird, unsettled stomach thing. But he actually chases my wife around when she comes home, feed me. Right? Like it's really it's the most codependent relationship I've ever seen. Yeah. Like he'll
What kind of food do you feed your cats?
he just eats Whiskas, but he wants his fancy feast when she gets home, and he gets a little spoonful, nothing more, because he does throw up all the damn time, but he does not care. He wants that food, right? And it's like, so we tried different ones, and there was one we were getting. He seemed to do a little better, but of course the stores here stopped carrying it, so it was like, okay. And we tried another one. He was doing okay with that, but it wouldn't matter. He still throws up occasionally. But I don't know who threw up, but if it's on my wife's side of the bed, I'd almost put money it was my female cat that loves me more than her. So
Can you like wean them onto like tuna instead of that stuff?
no, they won't eat that. And they throw up even worse. Yeah. The other two can eat it. No
Our
problem.
youngest cat.
Yeah.
Our youngest cat had the same problem. Always after
Threw up.
food. But since they can go out now, she always drink from the pound.
Yeah.
And she never did it again. She
Yeah.
keeps her. It's much healthier, I think, the pound
Yeah.
water than the tap water.
Yeah, he doesn't drink tap water. It's filtered water. I've tried tap water. We tried that part. We were worried it was the water. I don't know. The vet can't figure it out either. Just like, he just pukes. That's what he does. That's his thing. He's got a rotten stomach, so to speak, they call it. So, yay. It's like watching a fish. That's almost as funny as do fish fart. And then, okay. You got to assume they do, right? They create methane gas, right? You would think.
You would think.
There you go. There's a
They
topic
fart
for
through their gills.
dissertation and discussion, Cruz. Fish farts. Yeah. I just got yelled at. I got to go make coffee, boys and girls. If I don't make the wife happy, it's all bad. I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Yeah, man.
He said he's gonna go make the wife happy.
He's got to make the wife happy.
That one's actually pretty hard to do, by the way. That one's pretty hard to do, but by the way, guys. For any of you that are actually married out there, making the wife happy is pretty hard to do.
No, it's not hard. I just behave, and she's happy.
Ah, yeah, I guess that works for you, I guess. For me, behaving is...
Actually, mine is really... She's really, easy. She's calm, and she doesn't stress about little things, and she's really great, actually.
She's
Doesn't make problems about stuff.
She's laid back.
Yeah, laid back like that.
Yeah.
Hey, then. You want to go to McDonald's and play in the tubes? You sure, buddy? I want to? Yeah, your mom will be there. Your mom will be there. Is that okay?
And then it went quiet.
Yeah.
What shall we talk about?
Yeah.
I had my sister-in-law. She was visiting with her husband, and he started asking questions about the reef tank,
Hmm.
I think he regretted it because it took me 4 or 5 hours when I start talking about it.
Yeah,
But he was very interested.
yeah, yep.
But they all say the same, you know. They all say, "Oh, but I don't know if I could do that and all that work and
What do you want?
always caring
Yeah.
about it."
Yeah. I suppose it's as easy as you make it.
Yeah, of course, and you don't have it. He says, "Yeah, it's so big and big tank, and it's a lot of work."
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't tank like mine, you know.
Yeah.
You can do it how you want.
That's
You
it.
want small, but I said to him,
Yep.
small is not always easy.
No. Yeah. So
All
he's
right.
not going to get one then.
What are you not going to get?
I don't know. They
No, I'll just say.
they are searching for another house. So they want to move, so they have
All
more
right.
bedrooms. So I don't think it will be for now, but maybe when they want to search a house here in the village where we live.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah. Yeah.
I can talk him
Talk him
into
into
one.
it. That's it. The thing is, what you can do then is if he does get one, you can do like frag swaps. You can keep some there. So if anything
Yeah.
does go wrong, you could just go and get them back.
Yeah, it's like my neighbors. I don't know if some of you have seen the video from my neighbor's tank on my channel. He wanted a bigger tank, and then I said to him, yeah, of course, that's no problem. I come and help you. But he runs water,
Did
seawater. You know, that's it that
Oh,
he
yeah.
buys.
Okay.
So comes straight out the ocean here. So.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, yeah, but if they deliver the water, it's cold, of course. Yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
I place it inside, and yeah, but then it's still going to be too cold, because
Mm-hmm.
then it was Friday evening, and he sold his other tank already, and they would come and
Mm-hmm.
pick it up Saturday midday. So I said, how you gonna place from Saturday morning your new tank, warm up all the water, and so, but okay, so I helped him, and the water was too cold, of course. So he was lucky that I had my quarantine system running, because
Right.
he had all his fish in a bucket, and even that water was already too cold. So some of the fish were already swimming almost upside down. So yeah, and that was easy
Yeah.
because it's just like 4 or 5 houses away from me. So we run with the bucket to my house, placed him in the quarantine, and
Yeah.
saved all his fish like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you know what, you can. I was just reading a post. I'm in a couple of Facebook groups locally here, and a guy's like, "Oh, I just set up my 13.5," and I'm looking at it. I'm going, oh, "Okay." I'm not going to make it a comment because I already see problems, right? I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll see how that
I
goes.
don't like this. I don't like these Facebook groups. I was talking about on Rico's live stream last time with him, and I said, you know, there's always people there that they can be nice, you know. Even if you see mistakes, you can of course tell them, but stay respectful and don't start to call them names from the start. So when I bought my powder brown, I placed it in the quarantine, and of course, the first minute he's stressed as hell, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And so I make a small video from just 1 minute from him in the quarantine tank, so you could see the air stone and stuff like that. And I think I'm going to place it on that group and see what people say. Oh, and they immediately start, oh, that fish is not going to survive, he's going to die, I give him 5 hours, or and that tank is too small, and blah blah blah. So some of them, they comment, yeah, but it looks like it is his quarantine tank. Yeah, but you don't have an air stone in a saltwater tank. So I think now I better take it off, because
What was I
crazy.
saying?
It's-
Yeah, it's not worth it. And you know, like I have Reefer Madness on Facebook. You can join it if you like. It's more local people than anything else. And what's really kind of funny about it, and just kind of the way I feel about it, is that I think more people are in this hobby just to be negative than anything else. It's like, okay, so they say it's too small. What size was that quarantine tank, K-Reef?
It's 60 liters.
60 liters. So 10
So
gallon? 10?
That's yeah. Is it 10? Yeah, 27 gallon is 100 liters. So yeah, 15 gallon maybe.
Maybe 10 or 15 gallon tank. That's more
Yeah,
than enough. Because
something
if you
like
go to a fish store,
Mm.
and a lot of them, where do you see a tang? He's in a 4x4x4, and I'm not talking foot. He's a, you know, I've seen tangs in 10 inch by 10 inch by 10 inch, right? You know what I mean? So don't sit there and tell me that, because I've seen them perfectly happy and fine. Do they need swimming room? Of course they do, right? I've got a tang right now being a retard in my tank. You know, I don't know why he's attacking my clown. Maybe because they attacked him when they, I don't know. Do fish have vengeance on their mind? I have no idea. But you know what I mean? It's just one of those things that I now have to watch them.
They do.
Right? I think they do. I really do. I severely think they do, because he was attacked by them when he first went in the tank. Played dead. They left him alone. He swam off. Everything's been fine. Then I had that powder brown go dumbass on me. And now he's doing it. And it's like, okay, so we'll watch him. And if I got to get him out, I'll get him out. You know, and everyone's like, oh, well, how will you do that? I caught a powder brown without a trap. I got it right on. Well, I wish I had it on video. This time, I'm going to get it on video for everybody. Right? And like, just catch it right on video. This is how you do it, right? Instead of trying to sit there, like some of the fish in my tank, you'll never get that way. But with a veggie clip, you can get a tang. Absolutely can catch a tang.
Yeah, you lure it. Yeah, of course. You know, if I put my fingers, when I put my fingers in the tank, just the tips, my powder brown is coming to it, to my fingers.
Because he's got it in his head. That's food, right? So it's like, okay, you know, but you watch these people and
you
it's
come
just
down with a net from the back.
If all you want to do is barrage people with negativity, join Reddit. You know what I mean? Join LolSec. You know what I mean? You can do that for days. You can have all the fun in the world just being a complete and utter douche, right? You know what I mean?
And also they some people that are new in the hobby. I'm also quite new, you know, just doing this 10 months, the salt water. But I've done freshwater tanks for 14 years. But it's different, of course. But if you look new people and they're asking questions, some of them they don't even want to help, you know. They do like, oh, don't start because it's too difficult. Yeah, but you have one, so why shouldn't I start? Yeah. For you, it's all working perfect. You are smart, intelligent, and I am dumb, and I can't do this. Or what do you want to say? My nephew is like that. You know, he had this reef tank started 2 years ago, and when I started, he was jealous as hell. You know, and then he just went like, "Oh, you will not be able to maintain it," and blah 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 blah. He even deleted me from Facebook, you know. How
really? That's fair. Yeah, well, that's
fair. Just about a reef tank, you know. Then I think don't look at it if you don't want to see it. Don't be an ass. Yeah.
I get that a lot. I get a lot of family. My uncle, he just doesn't get it. You know what I mean? He's like, how can you just for hours and hours talk about it? And I'm like, it's absolutely fascinating hobby, man. You know, I said, you know, how could we talk about music back in the day for hours and hours, right? I can still do that.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I could sit down and debate anything as far as that goes, you know, in my hobbies. The negativity thing, I think some people just got, you know, I don't think they were raised with, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. You know, it's like, you know, somebody will tell me, and it's like, I will never say don't. It will be, you know, you can do that, but you should watch out for this, this, and this. I want you to be successful more so than I want to be a negative Nancy about it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you got to really kind of take this, you know, some things you got to take with a grain of salt. Go into Wet Web Media and read it sometimes. It's absolutely the most entertaining, funny shit you will ever read. Because these guys are so jaded on people's questions. But it's hard to read. The way they've got it set up, it's really hard. But once you kind of figure out how they do it, you know, I don't know, Cruz, you ever read Wet Web Media and just gotten just the greatest laugh out of reading it? I don't know if he's done it or if any of you guys have done it. But you know, go in and ask a question about copper, go in and ask a question about this stuff, and you can just see the eye roll and then the answer. It's almost the way that it reads. You can just catch it, right? You know, they're just like, "Oh fuck," right? So.
Yeah, because and then so I didn't talk to him for a long time. You know, I know that his wife sometimes follows the channel, but and then suddenly I get a comment on the video from my update where I was telling about my lawnmower Blenny that died. So I get a comment and I see the name. There is the word Recon in it, and I know that he also in his game games and everything, he's always using Recon in his name. So I know it's him. So how stupid can you be? And then he starts, yeah, but you need to give them lettuce and you need to give them other vegetables. The tanks need that. And you have no algae in your tank, so you need to give that, otherwise he will die. So I answer him, but I got the Blenny from someone that took it out his tank, because it was attacked by another fish, you know. And I had other fish in my quarantine system at the time from my neighbors, so I didn't want to put him there. So I put him in my tank, and he didn't eat. He didn't want to eat, so he was probably in shock, and he was quite damaged also from the attack, so he didn't survive. But I tried, you know, I couldn't do anything else, so he didn't want to eat. So he doesn't know the history from the fish, and he already starts, you know. And then about lettuce, give them nori or something, but lettuce, there is no
lettuce has nothing in
food.
it.
Yeah, there is nothing in it for fish.
Yeah, I was going to say, lettuce doesn't grow in the sea.
I told him, and he never answered again, of course.
And you said this was who was writing this?
That's my nephew.
Your nephew. You give them lettuce. Throw some carrots in there. Just throw a whole chef salad in. Fuck.
Yeah, and broccoli.
Yeah,
you know,
get the broccoli
I don't know. Yeah, he said, I give my tanks and I give them lettuce and broccoli.
Well, you know what? It's there's more people. I've talked about this before. You know, jump starting a tank. So somebody says to me, "Well, you need to cycle your tank," and why? Why do I need to cycle it? And they're like, "Well, because of the bacteria, right? But there's no bacteria in there now, and there's nothing going to create it right now." Sorry, just clearing my throat here, guys. So, if you think about it from this point of view, if you're going to put your fish in it, and by no means would I ever tell you if you didn't have the experience to throw, I think Nick did 45 fish all at once. Okay, in a clean system. Okay, so we would call it, it's a clinical system. It literally has just been set up. Well, it's bad for the fish. That's what they always will say. How is it bad for the fish? Well, it's going to create ammonia in that. But if I'm going to seed it, well, that's different. Well, what do you think? I'm an idiot?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like automatic assumption from anybody in this hobby, and not anybody. Wait, I say that wrong. I'll put the caveat on this. Most people in this hobby, they can't wait to call you an idiot.
Yep.
Yeah, it's things like that.
Sorry about that. Trying to finish my thought here. It's the negative Nancy thing. People want to be negative. The people that say they want to be positive are far less, right? And even when they're telling me they want to be positive, you can kind of catch that. They just can't wait to shoot somebody down. You know, the old inferiority, superiority complex. Do you ever look at somebody and hope they're going to fail with a reef tank?
No,
I don't. I honestly don't. Hey, Reef God.
You know, my neighbor, he wasn't doing everything like he should do, and so, but I helped him, and I some tips, the things that I have learned now, because of course I'm no expert, you know. I also just started, so because then they came inside here and they say, wow, your tank looks a lot different than ours. How did you do that? And this and that. So I explain how I did it. And now if he has a question, he always comes and with questions, and he accepts that maybe someone it's better that someone helps than if I think I do it alone, like some other people. I can do this, and I will go and read on Facebook and go and watch the movies or videos on YouTube, and I can easily do it on my own. But if some things you don't understand, then you just need to ask the question, you know, to someone.
Exactly, right? Like if you were to come look at my 120 now, and you were one of those negative people, you'd be just overjoyed that, oh man, you got diatom in there, you're doing it. This guy's an idiot, he doesn't know what he's doing. But my fish are happy. The corals that are in there are happy. What is it that you judge yours?
How old is the tank? The 120?
The tank?
How old is
I got issues with this tank. This tank's only been up and running for a year. But I use old sand.
But it needs to mature also, the tank.
Right,
you know?
It hasn't
you
fully
get all
come
this
around.
stuff.
Right. So we were talking the other night, and we're always going to talk about this. People love to throw chemicals in their goddamn fish tank. Can't wait to start throwing things at it. And I'm like, my wife goes, how are we going to get rid of that? And I said, well, I'm going to dial the lights back a bit. I'll do this and this. And the bubbling doesn't get it, you know, in this. Then I'll go on to the next step. And, you know, that's where it's like, I don't tell people anymore to do peroxide. I'll tell you how to do it, and I'll tell you when and why you should do it. But those come with warnings, because you can swing your tank so quick because your Cruz can help me with this. It over oxygenates the water and causes ORP issues, I do believe, or it screws up the redox point. I'd have to Cruz would know better what it does. Tell me what it does, Cruz. I just know I can kill. I know I can kill algae with it, but I use it more as a lawnmower than as a cure. Right? I'm going to do other things to bring it down. Right? So I know my nitrates are at 50 ppm right now. That's really not enough to be feeding it, but it's enough that I know something's going on. So now I have to reduce those through other methods. Right? Don't just throw peroxide in the tank and keep things going the way they're going. That's not going to work. Right? You're going to get rid of it for now, and it's going to come back with a vengeance. That's the way to look at it, right? And that's, man, but the people that are willing to throw Dino X in their tank is unreal. And even the guys who make Dino X will tell you as a last resort.
The thing is, it's understanding what's wrong with the tank in the beginning, then you can sort it out.
Yeah, if you're not watching your tank.
Because I got the question also from another friend. How come you haven't had an algae bloom in your tank, you know, when you started, like the green hair algae, you know? And so, I answered, I actually don't know. I can think about why I didn't have it, because I went really, really slow, you know, also with adding fish and with adding corals, and I went really slow, you know. It took me almost 10 months, and I only still have 10 fish in 170 gallon. You know, and but he has almost the same size of tank, but he has half the rock work like I have, and he has more than double the fish.
But
so
it's like, what did I say about this
compare
tank?
tanks, you know.
What did I say I was going to do with my tank? Take it really slow.
You can.
That's the way to do it.
Key, you
right?
know.
That's key, right? If you
take it really slow,
it's easier to deal with.
I believe that.
But if you have a guy with double the fish, half the rock work, is he doing anything else to export? Right. So does he have a bunch of biomedia in his sump? Is there
only a skimmer,
right?
And some bio balls. That's it.
When you say bio balls, you mean the plastic ones?
Yeah, you know, the black ones, the big,
Oh,
bigger ones.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
each one of them, if you're lucky, is 50 square feet. Yeah, that's not enough. If he's,
yeah,
you know, and that's all I would tell him. You know, you might want to look into the max spec biospheres, or
Yeah.
you know, at
Yeah.
least Marine Pure or something, just to give you,
Yeah.
you know, help you with your. Most people, that's where they screw up, is their biological filtration,
yeah.
right? You know, the
If your
more
bio-
is better,
if your-
right? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as your bioload can keep up with your tank, that's the way to do it.
Exactly, right. I'm actually, I want those max spec BioPure and or biospheres, and I am loading my sump with them, right? And
Yeah.
I'm
But
not going to do it all at
is
once, but I'm
is
going
it
to load
new?
it.
Is
It's
that
new. They're
is that
new.
the new
It is
product?
new. It's a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
I
haven't heard about.
Yeah, yeah. I put the link in the Hangouts as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
there
there is
I
a
know.
link. Yeah, there is
Yeah.
a link in the Hangouts as well as on the YouTube.
Didn't you
chat.
put the link in the chat? Yeah, really.
Yeah, I put a link in the
Yeah.
chat as well. Yeah,
It's in the chat.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the new one, guys.
Yeah.
And the reason we're all a little excited about it versus, say, Marine Pure, the problem with the ones that are
Is-
porous media is they have a tendency to clog up, and it isn't necessarily
Yeah.
detritus, but it's the dead bacteria,
Yeah.
because it has a life cycle, folks.
Yeah.
It doesn't last forever. If it clogs it
Yeah.
up, it's no longer doing anything. It just becomes the ball
Yeah.
itself, right? So
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like something that can clean itself, cleaning makes things better,
Yeah.
right? And you know,
Yep.
we're you know, we know. So you know what I mean? I don't think I need to overtly explain that. Me and Nick
Yeah.
kind of really got into it, and it was a really good conversation that I kind of went, yeah. That's why I like BioHome, but you can't get it in North America. BioHome's actually pretty rough.
Yeah.
to
And
get.
and what's
Yeah,
is
we
the
can-
price? Is it's much different between the what's the
In-
other name? Chemipure? No, what
Oh,
Marine
yeah.
Pure.
Marine
Pure.
Pure.
Yeah. Oh, it's
And
a
Because here
lot,
the
lot cheaper.
Marine Pure blocks
It's a-
here they are really
Yeah,
expensive.
it is a
Really
lot
expensive
cheaper.
here.
Here's a better one
I've
too.
literally,
The dust. If you get Marine Pure and you actually look at the bottom, the amount of dust from it is unreal.
yeah,
The max spec
Yeah.
biospheres, nowhere, not even
Yeah.
close. Not as crumbly, not
Yeah.
as prone to breaking down.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Michael got them out the other day, didn't he? And he just showed you on how much dust there was in there. There was hardly
Yeah.
anything.
that was awesome to see. That was like, that sold me right there.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing is, the price for you saw that bag on how many he had. It was 44 balls,
Yep.
and they weren't small.
Nope.
And it's like, for me, it was £24.
Yeah, that's
£24. That is,
exactly.
it's, I could put half of that in and it would still do my tank, no problem.
You know, and if you're going to put that in, like we were talking about, right? You either add it slowly, right? If you're going to
Yeah.
put fish in right away, because you don't want to overload the tank, right?
Yep.
That'll cause its own cycling issues, right?
Yeah.
From Brightwell.
I mean-
Brightwell's
I
the
mean-
same. Yeah, Brightwell's the same porous
Yeah.
media, Tim.
Yeah. You still throw it away after a year.
Yeah, I'm already going to have to change. Would you stop? Oh my God, these cats today are getting a
Yeah.
punch. Every one of you is I'm punching in the head.
Yeah. But I mean, the way that I think about it is then bioballs, you can sort of like load up X amount to start with, get your system going, and then every
Yeah.
time you add a fish, you can add another bioball,
Yep.
because the surface area on it, if I can find it again.
I also have these black bio balls, but I have a double sump. So I have a really big sump. So I took a place and I just filled it, a lot of them,
Yep.
But I also have the biopellet reactor and skimmer and refugium. So of course it's different with him, because it only a skimmer and some bio balls. That I don't think that's enough.
Well, it's it's one of those things. You can tell somebody. We talk about this a lot, actually, and we all know that reefer that we know. And you tell him something, and he just looks at you, and he dismissed what you said already. He's going to do what he's going to do, right?
Mm.
And we're not the fish police. We're not the tank police. We don't get to go to these people's home to go, right, we're taking away your tank now. You're busted. We don't get to do that, right? So unfortunately, that's the way it is. And all we can hope is maybe after the fifth crash, or the last death of a fish, that they'll get it. You know what I mean? They'll just stop doing that and move on and start doing it right.
Yeah, that's also something in the crash. I was talking about my nephew. So 2 years he's doing that. His tank, he crashed 3 times already in 2 years.
Now, Reef God, I'm going to jump on this because he's asking about check valves, and that's kind of important. I don't use one.
Okay.
I don't have a check valve on either of my systems. I actually keep my return pumps. I keep the nozzles closer to the top, and I have enough room in my sump. So if you're using it because your sump's going to overflow, then yes, absolutely, you would need a check valve. What's the Y one? I always forget what it's called, but if you go to Bulk Reef Supply, you'll see one that's a Y one. It's less prone to getting blocked. Because the problem is generally with a check valve.
With the spring on the side.
No spring. Actually, it's gravity. Gravity only.
No?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, check it out on Bulk Reef Supply. It's a cool one.
I've seen one.
I'll find it right now. God, it only take me a second. Here I am, bulk bitching and complaining. BR.
I don't use a check valve either. I have my overflows. So I have 2, and I drilled on top a hole in each one, a small hole, and I placed some small air tubing in it.
Yeah,
sealed it good, of course. Yeah, and just above the water line, with some tie wrap.
Sucking all. Yep. So you're not sucking all the return line.
So from the moment from the moment I put my pump in feed mode, it's just immediately air and you don't get a lot of water back.
So it's called a YWYE check valve. Here, I can't really link it unless I shorten it. Yeah, I can shorten it. What the hell am I doing? Of course I can.
Cruz, you're right. I put anti-siphon hole in the return line.
Go and do that. There we go. Copy. And check this one. That not necessarily your size or what you need, but that's the one that I would recommend. Should work. Does it work? It works. Check that out. So there you go. Check that one out. We've got. That's the one that, as far as again, a check valve is not 100%. Just saying. Yeah. Or drill an anti-siphon hole.
$5 today.
Yeah, they're pretty good actually. BRS. That is not a cheap check valve, by the way. Just letting you know. In any way, shape, or form, is that one cheap? Yeah. So yeah, it's actually funny when I turn off my pumps and I hear my, all the noise you hear, and it's like, why do you do it like that? Because I don't have to worry about it. If the power goes off, I know I'm not going to back siphon into my sump and overflow. There's many ways to skin that reef. There's also the return line from Custom Aquariums. They got that proprietary one they came up with, and it's got the I don't know. It's the same thing he's talking about. It's got an anti-siphon hole on the top, and takes care of itself, right? You know what I mean? There you go. You don't have to worry about it. It breaks the siphon and stops it from doing that, right? So, no. Come on, guys. We all know.
Yeah, but I have been watching mine now some days ago because, of course, after some time, you see the tubes, they get really dirty, and they also, the light shines, so there comes algae in and stuff like that. So I think after some time you will have to, of course, clean them out because maybe they get clogged.
Well, you know what? We all know, and I don't know, maybe you don't, so I'll bring this up. You can buy pipe cleaning kits.
The small brushes.
You know what I'm talking about, and all the different flexible handles and everything else. You can clean these things, man. This is not. I just. You should be able to sit down. You know what? Everybody, go check out My Saltwater Journey. He has this merch that he sells, and he has the log books that he came up with. Right, and it's nothing special, but it's kind of cool that he did this in such a way that for me, I'm not using it for that. But you know what I am using it for? Reminders. Right? Don't forget to do this and check this and check this and check this, right? Because I will not think about it till it goes wrong.
I have a logbook since I started my tank. I have a logbook, a big one. Yeah. And now every time when I when I add something, I write it in there. When I do my water tests, I write it in there.
Yeah.
When I change something about the doser, when I change the dosing, I put it in there. And it's so easy, you know. You don't have to go in the dosing. Oh shit, how much milliliters was I giving again now? No, you go in your logbook, and everything is in there.
Yeah.
I think it's really great for everyone. Actually, that
Yeah.
that you have a
Are you-
logbook.
Yeah. I use an app.
Yeah,
So-
I use
Yes.
an old tablet.
There you
Just
go.
a
I use a
regular tablet.
Yep. Yeah, that'll work. I use
Spiral bound.
Aquaramate. Yep, I use something called Aquaramate, and it lets
Yeah.
me do
Oh,
everything I
yeah.
want to do with it.
The app.
Yeah. And I mean, $11.99, and I can sit there and it'll actually ring off at me and everything and remind me. But when it comes
Yeah.
to cleaning plumbing, I don't want to have to sit down and think
Yeah.
that one through. I'll just write down as a reminder what date did I install it, and then 1 year from now, blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things, right? There's so many things that we don't think about till it goes wrong. That's the
Yeah.
big one, right?
Yeah.
Redundancy is nice, but the reason redundancy is there is because we didn't do that. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
you went and cleaned it, like I got to clean my return or my overflow. Oh, I'm probably due. I bet you there's a big nitrate factory sitting in there somewhere. And mine's painted.
Yeah.
So it's actually even worse. I would bet that I just can't see it. So somebody's like, well, how are you going to take care of that? And it's like, well, I got to be careful because if I empty it, all the pressure from the tank is pushing on that weir, right? So I got to get in there and just, basically I'm just going to probably take 1/4-inch tubing or 1/2-inch tubing and just empty out about a gallon and just get what I can and then flush my pipe, put my Durso back together, and away I go. You know what I mean? Like I'm not out to really, go crazy. I just want to make sure that Durso pipe is clear so that my overflow is working correctly, right? And your tank. If things look wrong, you should be able to figure out where it's coming from 9 times out of 10, right? Hey, Vicky. Is she just calling me C now?
Vicky.
Yeah,
Hey,
but you know
C.
what? I love that
Mr.
we've got
C.
Mr. C. Yeah, that's Cruz. That ain't me. What do we call you, Cruz? Yoda. Yeah.
Feel the force.
Feel the force. Yeah.
The bubbling force.
No problem.
I'm going to come up with a whole ignorance leads to mistakes. Mistakes leads to floods. Floods lead to anger. Anger leads to quitting the hobby. See ya. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's one of the definitely a thing that we don't have to sit there. And I think people's got to stop making it their mission in life to make people quit the hobby. Don't worry about it. If somebody's doing it wrong, they'll take care of that themselves. We don't have to do that. That's not my job. I'm here to help you to succeed. If you can't succeed, or you're not willing to listen to the advice that's given, that's entirely up to you. That's the way it is, right? We're all adults here. I sort of act like one.
Try to.
Blinky fish is in bed.
Yeah, she should be. It's 10 o'clock, or 11 o'clock at night? Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, 11 o'clock here in the UK.
Yeah, 11 o'clock in the
12
UK.
here.
Blinky Fish is UK, isn't she?
12 o'clock in Belgium.
UK.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it'd be 12 in Belgium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those people. I like the people who have a lot of money and spend it on expensive equipment who get out of the hobby real fast, because that's how I get all my equipment at a discount.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
Cheap.
That's how you get it cheap.
Yeah.
What's
Some
that?
time ago,
Yeah,
some time ago, I was on this Facebook group, this auction groups, and there was a big tank, really nice, and everything, an Apex with, and it was, I don't know, maybe he spent it like 15,000, and he sell it 4,000. It has to go tomorrow. Tank is running 5 months. 5 months.
Yeah.
It has to go tomorrow. Then I think, oh my God, you spend the car on it, and then you sell it like for an apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, Metals. How dare I accuse anybody of being an adult, right? Yeah, I'm not good at adulting at all. Hi, Blinky. And hi, Metals. It's when you.
Blinky,
I don't know.
Blinky.
I think it's really amazing when you really think about this hobby. Think about what you're doing. right? And a lot of people don't. They don't really think about what they're doing. They think, I got these fish, I got this tank, and it looks great. But you're creating a biosystem for these fish, right? And then you want the coral because the coral's so pretty. I have told more people, you know what? Get in and do the fish first, right? And if you can keep the fish tank healthy and keep the parameters in check with those fish, then move on to doing coral, and you'll have more success. What do they go out and do? Load the tank down right away with everything in it, wonder why all their shit's dying, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, that's the part that gets frustrating for any of us. But you know what? That's how I get stuff cheap too, right? I don't get a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of hobbyists here, but there's enough. I mean, I've cleaned out 29 tanks. I figured that out one day. I have gone and emptied 29 tanks for people.
Wow.
So, you know.
I appreciate Craigslist.
Yeah, Craigslist is a great place. Yeah, you know, same with Facebook. I'll get somebody to message me, hey, man, I'm getting out. You want to come clean out my tank? Yep, see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was same here. We have some now. The longer I'm in the saltwater hobby, the more people I learn to know. Of course, here that also are doing saltwater, but there are not many, of course, in Belgium and Holland. And then sometimes I have to really drive like 1.5 hours, 2 hours to just get one frag, you know, that I saw online and I wanted. And yeah, it's so. And sometimes you see really nice stuff that they sell online and cheap, and then I think, oh, I want to buy that. But then you see that I have to drive like 3 or 4 hours. Yeah. Then it's not cheap anymore because you need to take. Yeah, you need to pay a whole tank of gas, you know, to go and get it.
You know, it's funny that we talk about that. I mean, I live for the moment that I see a full-on Apex system up for cheap. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to see it because, unfortunately, the area I live in, that's an expensive proposition. And you know, me and Cruz were talking about before. I don't want one because I want it to do everything for me. I want the monitor. That's it, so that I can quickly go. There's a problem. I don't need it to address the problem. I'll address the problem. Yeah, you know. But
of course,
you know.
I also wanted to just monitoring, not for not. I don't want to be able to. Change things from a distance, you know, like booster or anything else. No, just if something is wrong, you get a message, and if necessary, you can put the pump offline or something, or
whatever it is. Yeah, you know, it's like
something like that.
I think, you know, we all just want to be successful. Right. I think even the ones with the best of intentions that aren't, that's what they wanted originally, was just to be successful. So when they're not, that's where these ones come from. You know what I mean? They give up. And the same people where they try to learn how to play guitar, they go out and buy a $20,000 setup, and then you get it for $800. You know what I mean? And they're like, well, what do you mean it's only worth that? That's all it's worth, sir. Sorry. You know what I mean? It's I have seen, my favorite one I've ever seen is Eddie Van Halen's signature guitar, the Frankenstrat copy from Fender. If you actually go look that up, they're about $25,000. Now, you can buy a Wolfgang, which is his signature guitar through Fender now, for about anywhere between $800 and $3,000, depending on the options you want. But if you want the famous guitar, the red, white, and black striped guitar, that's $25,000 for the real one. Right, so the Relic, I think it is. So it's got the quarter and the reflectors, and the cigarette.
It's kind of like
right?
Exactly, and it's kind of like what I try to tell everybody. You know, you don't have to have top of the line everything to be a good reefer. You don't have to have the top of the line guitar to be the great guitarist. You don't have to have a top of the line piano to be talented in playing the piano.
If you have good hands, it will work.
You can watch. You know what? You make a good point. The piano thing is a good one, Cruz. When they show the old fellow sitting down at a really crappy old piano sitting on the street, and all of a sudden he starts playing, and it's gorgeous. Right? It wouldn't matter if it was a Steinway or if it was
as long as it's tuned right.
You got it.
Exactly.
If it stays in tune,
as long as it's tuned right.
Yeah.
I mean, they hear the music in their head. I mean, even Beethoven, when he was deaf, was able to hear the music in his head, and he started composing. Near the end of his life. But he already heard it so many
But
times.
I don't
He
want
already
my
knows.
tank to be fully automated or something, you know, because I like to be
The interaction, right?
and
You like to interact with it.
yeah, I like the interaction with the tank, you know, and
Yep.
and that you can adjust this and do that if necessary, and and you know what's going on.
Exactly.
If you rely on too much things, it's just it's on autopilot. I don't have to worry about it. Then some things happen and you didn't even see it.
Mm-hmm.
Inside the tank, then of course, if you see corals or fish or I don't know.
Well, it's like this live stream thing, right? What is it? What's the magic of the live stream? You know,
Interaction.
It's the interaction with the fellow reefers, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, depending on where we live, you know, I am in a very isolated area. I have a very finite amount of people that are in my hobby, and some of the ones that are in my hobby, I would rather kick myself in the balls than talk to them. You know what I mean? Because on a personal level, they're just not somebody I'm going to get along with. They're saying things that are making me like, you know, I shouldn't have to sit down and every 5 minutes in a conversation with somebody go, what? What do you mean? You know what I mean? I don't, and that wouldn't matter what it was. You want to talk to me about physics, guitar, tanks, whatever. If you say something that just monumentally makes my left brain hemorrhage, you know what I mean? From stress, from what you just said, I don't want, I just won't associate with you. I'm not even going to be rude. I'll be very polite, walk away and go, yep, just not going to hang with that guy anymore.
You have
know
to
what I mean?
prove to me that fire burns.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's a match.
I'm skeptical.
Exactly. Right. Or
yes, but how much did it burn?
How much did it burn? Well, I'm not going to sit here and talk about the quantification of what hurts.
How long did it burn?
How long did it burn? You know, exactly, right? Well, here, like this match.
Now you're asking questions like an aquarist.
There you go.
Yeah. I know. That's why I asked. That's why I did.
You got it.
Because it doesn't matter. Do you know what I'm saying? If something's happening, something's happening. You can't deny it. You know, it is a fact. It is a observable fact. If you can't observe it, then nothing's happening. Do you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I mean,
no, and like, go ahead, Cruz. Go ahead.
Oh no,
I'm gonna let you
it's
talk
just,
because I need a coffee. I'm having that kind of a night.
Go grab one.
I'm gonna go grab it because my sugar swung really weird. You know, sorry guys, being a diabetic is a pain in the ass. Trust me. So I'll be right back.
Is that where you shoot it?
I'm kidding. Yeah,
I'm kidding.
That's not even another. What are you saying, Cruz?
And he was
a good one.
Yeah. And how long did it burn?
How long did it burn? Yeah. And how many
seconds.
joules did it produce?
Yep.
How many kilojoules?
How hot was it?
Yes. How loud was it? How many decibels was it? Well, you know, and if it didn't,
Did the fire
if you don't have that
department
information, you don't
acknowledge
have that
that
data
it was
for
a
me,
fire?
I don't believe that it burned. And
Exactly.
I'm like, really? I mean, you guys heard the same thing. It's like, well, mucus always, you know, if it plugs the membrane, it's going to plug the membrane. If it plugs the membrane, then the membrane's no longer porous.
Yeah.
It's a relationship. It's a cause and effect. And I don't understand where these quote unquote pseudoscientists think that they are the voice of science.
Yeah.
You know, and they're asking for freaking ridiculous shit that's been proven over and over and over again in the physical world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you say, an observation is still a form of scientific research.
Exactly. It's, you know, you notice something before they throw money at it. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if it only happened once or twice out of 100 times, I would say, you know what, dismiss it. Something else is going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean it's like They talked about the Higgs boson the Higgs boson atom or whatever it's called. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what do they do? Right, they talked about it. They said that it was there, but you know, is it there or isn't it there? And then they built the Hadron Collider. Yeah, so they built the Hadron Kaleidoscope, whatever it's called.
Technology has to catch up.
Yeah,
it takes time.
Yeah, so they talked about it
sometimes.
Yeah, but after they built it, they then found it apparently.
Exactly, or the positrons and the
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
negatrons, or little things like that,
Yeah.
or the black body.
Yeah.
And
But
how in the hell can you explain that other than with math?
But the thing is, how much money did that thing cost just to prove something?
Exactly. When we already
how
know
many
that
countries-
we're made of atoms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we already know that we're made out of atoms and that there's space in between,
Yeah.
so that other things could pass through.
Yep.
And then you get the skeptics that say, "Well, we're pretty solid." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
pretty solid, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you had all the
But
skeptics that
X-rays
said,
go right
"Don't
through
turn
us."
it. Don't turn it on." Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
don't turn
X-rays.
it on.
X-rays.
You're gonna.
Yeah.
Yep. X-rays. You're gonna get sucked into a black hole.
Yeah.
All these
Yeah.
stupid assumptions. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They like to strike fear in people that they know that they have a voice with.
Yeah.
And the more that we prove that they're irrelevant in some, in certain circumstances, then their credibility also goes down, and that's where they get ego.
Yeah.
Their ego gets
I
hurt.
think if you was a person who said, "Look, I doubt what you're saying," I would be the one who would say, "Okay, I'm going to prove your theory wrong."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the
Under
thing.
these
It's like
circumstances. Yep.
prove the theory wrong. I'm telling you my theory.
Yep.
And that happens a lot with a lot of scientists, isn't it? They come up with a theory, and then other people talk about that theory, and then somebody will go, "Right, let's have a look at that theory. Let's dissect it. And then we'll point out where it is wrong, or if it's right."
Yeah, and where it's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the
Where
thing.
it's valid and where it's not valid.
Yeah, exactly. Where it is valid and not valid, and then they go back to that person and say, "This is what we thought," And then that person might go off again and come back and go, "Okay, I'll research it a bit more, or I'll look into it, and I'll come back with another theory." And that happens all the time. Quantum physics and things like
But
that.
that's
It
what you
happens
call
all the time.
constructive. I mean, but that's what you call constructive criticism.
Yeah.
The ones
Einstein.
that they're teaching people how to be a skeptic. They're teaching people how to be a skeptic. And I'm like, but it doesn't work that way.
I mean, how many times did Einstein have a theory proved wrong, and then he went off and come back and said, "There's the right answer."
Yes, here's the right answer. Here's the better answer.
Here's the right answer. Yeah, exactly. Here's a better answer.
Yeah. And that's the whole point of coming up with a hypothesis.
That's it.
Proving or disproving it, and you know what, and that leads to a whole huge debate. And I know Cruz knows exactly what I'm talking about too.
Yeah,
but I mean,
go ahead.
We used to spread cow manure. We used to spread cow manure on our lawns.
Yep.
Yeah.
Without really understanding the chemistry of it.
Yep.
We just
but
said,
it worked.
Well, so and so did it to his freaking lawn, and it's freaking green.
Yep.
I want my lawn green. Therefore, I'm going to do it.
We used to spray
cow manure.
Right. We used to spray DDT into the woods to get rid of what? Mosquitoes. Did we know it was killing everything else? Right. Nope. And I said to one person, they're like, "Well, it's horrible. It's horrible." But do you miss the Encephalitis mosquito? No. There you go. Yeah. So even though, yes, the end result was really, 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 really bad with DDT, right?
Yeah.
We're not even going
to the birds.
How bad that was, right?
To the birds, to the amphibians.
Everything, caused untold cancer to the human beings. Like, people don't even understand. You realize Agent Orange was an offshoot of DDT, right? So, people just don't get it. You know what I mean? It's like this stuff, a lot of big, especially military scientific mistakes have led to great stuff for us, like phosphate, right? Go check out what's in fertilizer now. What's in there? Phosphates, right? You got to understand.
Bombs.
You got it. Yep. It came from bombs, right? Fertilizer. But
they used to dump it. Yeah, they used to dump it into the fields, letting it just go away, and then they noticed that it started greening up. Freaking the vegetation around.
Around that. Yep. And hiding all the other bombs that hadn't exploded, by the way. But that's besides the point. I think entirely. It's one of those things that when you get down into it, human nature is by nature, we're skeptical, right? Because if we don't see
it, I'm okay with that,
and I am too. I would rather be a skeptic. I'm definitely not a guy that would be hanging out at Jonestown going, "Oh yeah, I'll drink the grape Kool-Aid."
But you're an open-minded skeptic.
and that's it. I will sit down and
difference.
think about what you said and decide, does that work? You know,
And look at all the other proof around it, or the anecdotes around it.
You got
and
it.
see whether or not it actually did something. And if it did,
right.
How can you deny that?
How can you deny
or that it's how can you deny that it's bad or good?
And we've all been in that conversation about whatever it was, and we're not going to get into that one, but where people have said, how can you be skeptical of that? Because I need some quantification or proof. Something.
Yep.
Right? Just something.
But I mean,
but, you know, I'm not go ahead.
Look at these magic bottles, these magic potions. Oh, this is going to definitely like clear up your tank. Really?
Yeah.
Without you doing anything else.
Yeah, and we're not going to add the smart ass comments I've had with that one. Right? Like somebody's like, but so there's one, and I've seen the guy's tank, and I get where he's coming from, and I will get it. And I'll get it because one, it is the cheapest bottle of magic potion, right? Algae Marine fixed by API. It's like $10.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there looking at it going, well, what's in it? And then all of a sudden, oh my God, look, it actually says what's in it. You know, now go buy Dino
I can
X.
make it cheaper, you know, like just some bleach and
well, let's listen. I got chemicals you can throw into your tank that I can go readily get, and it's even more fun than bleach. Because in the end of the day, how salt water is going to react to that is going to be epic, right? You know what I mean? I can create an explosion in your tank in about 32 minutes that would just. You want to take your tank out in a spectacular fashion? Let's do it. Yeah.
Oh, check this out.
Sure.
People keep on saying, "Oh yeah, well they said that I needed more potassium." I said, "Well, what kind of potassium?" And they're like, "Oh, the pure stuff." I was like, "Oh, pure potassium." Do you know what that does with water? Do you know what pure sodium does with water?
With water. Yeah.
You know, so when you're telling people to add potassium to their system, they're like, "Oh, okay." So they're grabbing anything that says potassium on it.
Yep.
You know, potassium chloride, bromide, iodide, whatever. And they're like, "Well, I'm adding potassium to my system." And you're like, "Well, do you know what it does? Do you know what the other portion of it does and how it reacts?" No, but it says potassium. You know, so there's another one that says, "Oh, well, I'm going to add boron." And I'm like, "Okay, well, what kind of boron?"
Yeah.
And then they look at me as if I was stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's like boron, you know, from CCAM. And I'm like, yeah, but what kind of boron? You know, it's this whole hobby has oversimplified certain things, and then they've overcomplicated other things.
Right.
Like, how in the hell can you overcomplicate bubbles?
Yeah. You know what's funny? Let's think about that for a sec. I do love and by the way, Mr. Williams is really your cousin. I just want to verify that.
No, he's a Narcosis.
I know
met him over there at Aquatic Experience.
Got
He's
it.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, I enjoyed him saying he invented bubbling, and I'm like, you're talking to the wrong guy to think you're going to pull the wool over my eyes on that one, buddy. You know, why don't you show me what
he's a cool dude. He does troll a lot, though.
He is a troller.
I mean, I
he thought he had me
because he makes you laugh.
Yep.
And,
yeah, you don't take it so serious.
That's one of the reasons why I'm still friends with him.
Yeah.
Is because he knows. He knows, I know, and
that's why Paul likes him too, right?
Let's just enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that's why Paul likes him, because he gets it. He's trolling, but he's trolling in jest. He's not out to make me mean. He's not out to make you feel bad about yourself. And if you do, well, I'm sorry. Maybe you need to be offended.
Why do you think he had a big old ass smile on his face when I came on?
Yeah. And he realized, I'm not going to get this guy. This guy already knows the guy, right? It's like, yeah, I kind of do. Yeah. Right.
Nah,
but you know what? When you get down into it... go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I said he got kicked off a couple of streams for trolling.
You don't think I know that?
And I'm like, dude.
I've heard the name that you used
seriously.
for Mr. Williams.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, I think someone doesn't like him in particular, as I might recall.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so,
and it's like, well,
I mean,
doesn't like a few of us.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? That's human nature.
Yeah, that's
Just
right.
because you're reefing doesn't mean that we all have to get along on a personal level.
Nope.
It's whether or not, can you you know, accept certain things? Can you learn other things from other people? Absolutely.
Like every time.
You know,
You got to be open,
I
though.
mean-
Like you were saying about open-mindedness is a state of mind, folks, right? So if you're going to come in here and it's social for you, that's all well and good. That's fine. You're accepted the same as if you're in here to want to talk about reefing.
absolutely. We're not here to write papers on
Bingo.
reefing. We're not
No.
here to write dissertations, and we're not here to get published and all this other good stuff. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying? It's
We're
a
here-
totally different thing to have a conversation with somebody and not always have to put footnotes behind everything that we say.
Oh, good, John.
Footnote.
Footnote.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to put another footnote behind that footnote, behind that footnote.
And behind that one. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, Craig.
Behind.
Yes, sir.
Hey, did you see Steve Rogers' video he did on the peroxide?
I have not watched it yet.
Yeah, he took a syringe and was killing hair algae with it.
And did he water that 35% peroxide down before putting it in the tank?
I don't remember hearing him say that. He was like, you know how he is. He's so fed up.
Killed
with
my
it.
green hair algae and then some.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounded diabolical. You know, it's like, look at that, it's killing it. You know, it's like
He's gonna write he's gonna come on. He's gonna go. There's a reefer named Reefer Man who told me, "Oh, it's just all good." You know what I mean? It's like that's not what I said to do at all.
But you know, he also
we said
did,
that we utilize the 3%.
3%, and I love it when they go on about the 3%. But it's got other stuff in it. So does your water. So does your salt.
Yeah, so
right?
does your
he
water.
also he did he at the same time or almost simultaneously he did the video that he's putting a GFO reactor. I thought he had tried GFO before. That's why I never brought it up to him. You know, I thought.
No, these and what ends up happening is you get all these people say, you know, hey, I want to try this again. I said, dude, it's been tried for the last 30 plus years.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are you going to figure out?
No.
I just feel.
You know what I'm saying? It's like Miracle Mud. They're like, well, we need to know what's in it. I said, why? So you could replicate it.
Exactly.
You know, there's a fine line between proprietary, you know, that they spent a freaking ton of money on, and something that's, you know, common off the shelf, you know, like hydrogen peroxide.
What was it, Nick? Right. Sorry. No. Go ahead. Keep going. Brain kicked in. Sorry.
Oh no. What did Nick say?
So me and Nick were talking about ick, and talking about Ruby Reef, and talking about all these other methods for kicking ick, for lack of a better term, right? And I'm like, well, I said, here's the thing. I said, I know what I've read. I know the white papers. I know the scientific stuff I've read on it, because ick made me its bitch for 9 months. Right? And you can use Ruby Reef, you're supporting the fish. That's all you're doing. You're not killing ick. Don't tell me it kills ick unless you're going to show us how it's killing it. Right? Don't say it kills it and say, well, we can't tell you why, it's a secret. Right? No. This is like killing mosquitoes. This is like killing anything. If you're killing it, you got to show us how you're killing it, because that's important. You know what I mean? Yep. It's like, you know, whatever the case may be, we can make any argument for that. So what I tell people is, it is very, as long as you know the caveats and the dangers of what you're doing. Now, I think Death Mage once said she had a friend that used it. Our Sandy D used it, wiped out everything in her tank, killed all her coral, killed all her fish. And I'm thinking, well, the coral definitely was killed by the Ruby Reef, because ick doesn't kill coral. Fish could all die unless she had a humongous ammonia spike. That's what killed it, right? You know, anecdotally, but that is what killed it. So somebody said, well, you know, he said, well, how do you feel about it? You can kill ick. It's called copper. So don't put it in your reef tank. I'll say that up front. You never heard that here. But if you take a fish and you put it into a quarantine system and you dose copper, you will eventually kill ick. And you're only going to kill ick in one of its 4 life cycle moments. One. You do not get to kill it in I'd have to bring it up. I got it somewhere. But When it's in the fish, you can't kill it. When it's falling off the fish, you can't kill it. And when it's on its cyst mode, you can't kill it. You can only kill it in its free swimming stage because that's when it's vulnerable.
That's what he says, Ruby. That's what the guy on the video says.
Says it does.
Yeah, that's what he says. Please don't.
Except that scientists, marine biologists, and scientists have checked, and the only thing they can make kill ick is copper. Whether it's chelated copper, aka buffered, or not, that's the only thing that we know for sure. Now, I'm not saying it's the only thing, but for sure that we know right now. So if you've done something that does that, wow, I got a bone to pick with fucking ick, don't I?
Yeah.
Or anyway, but I think it's just because that's you were talking about voodoo. That's the voodoo in the hobby, right? That's the snake oil that Richard was talking about. There are these things that people will put out, and we will, some reefers will happily dump this crap in their tank because they don't want to do the work. I understand it. Do I want to go in and get all my fish out of my tank again? No. Do I want to go through everything I'm going to go through with it? No. Will I? Absolutely will. If I get a nick outbreak again, and somebody said, are you 100% sure you don't have ick in your tank? No, I'm not now. I thought about it the other day. I forgot I put that tang in there. I know where he was. I know what was done. But can I say for certain that he's ick-free? No. So it's very possible I have it in my system. Are my fish exhibiting any signs of it? Have I seen it? Have I seen any behavior from it? No. So 6 months from now, will I say I'm ick-free? Reasonably certain, unless they have proved that other one, which is that tangs carry it. But nobody's ever proven that one, but I guess it's being looked at. So we'll see. Right? They carry it in their gut. So that'd be something. If that comes out, that's going to probably end tangs in the hobby for a lot of people entirely.
Yeah.
Why would you bring something that is a carrier, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, there's we've seen tangs and certain other fish, eat up dinoflagellates. Well, guess what? They're going to carry it over to the next system, and to the next system, and to the next system. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yep.
So, I mean, you get some of the algae that has dinoflagellates on it. Tangs are hungry. They're going to eat it.
Yeah.
Then they're going to bring it to the next tank.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why we don't buy fish from stores that have a lot of dinoflagellates in them.
Yeah.
Try to stay away from there.
Yep. It's like quarantining. I said to one person, the only way you're ever going to make sure you don't have ick, and I think we talked about it on Mike Aaron's aquarium stream, you would have to quarantine your coral, quarantine your inverts, and quarantine your fish. That's the way you're going to keep it out. That's the only way you're going to keep it out. And then I loved Mike and the devil's advocate on that one. But then what if you got ick? You screwed up somewhere. Right? Yeah. That's the way that works, right? Go ahead.
Hey guys, I have to take off for a little bit.
Okay, buddy.
All right.
Well, thanks for dropping in.
I'll talk to you soon.
Catch you later.
Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Bye.
Cheers.
All right. Catch you later.
Nope. So yeah, you can remember what it was called. Hang on the back. I thought you guys had a sump system, Vicky. That's cool though. I have no problem against hang on the back or canisters or any of that stuff. I love that crap. Wear rock, and if you have ick, can you dose copper?
It will be in your rocks.
Okay. Well, yeah. Here's the way that works. Budget. If you dose copper and you have rock in your tank, you'll never fully get it out of your rock. It will always be there because it's pervasive. So we'll get into the rock and then we'll always leach out. But if you are only ever going to have a fish only system or a fowler, right? So fish only with live rock, then yeah, sure, absolutely can. Yeah, and that's just it. 80 days. I did 90. Anything over 72, they say is safe. I went 90, literally because I was just done with dealing with it, right? And thankfully, that's worked out really well. And then my 20, I didn't really care because it's a 20. It's easy to get those guys out of there, right? I can even catch them with the rock in the tank because they're, it's easier. When you're dealing with ick is it's agile, folks. Annika.
Annika seems good.
Yeah, no, it's just funny. The second I pop in, I hear Craig talking about ick.
Yeah, it is. That's my bone to pick, right? That's the one I just get right in there like a pimple about
we're
it.
gonna write you a song.
Yeah.
We're gonna write you a song.
Ick,
Anyway.
ick,
Greg,
ick,
the Ick
ick.
Man.
The Ick Man.
One of the worst things
Ick Man.
about ick is
I get
it's
ick from
all,
the Ick
especially
Man.
when you go into it, is all the comments, all the. I mean, people have all these ideas and theories and about how to get rid of ick, and from garlic to it just runs though.
Well, you remember we talked about that before, and we'll talk about it again. Anecdotal evidence is so prevalent in this hobby; it's now taken as fact. Which anecdotal evidence is not fact; it's an observation, right? So
Yeah. It's just, but then it just confuses the whole thing for me. And that's what it did when I was really going through a bad episode of ick. It just was like confusing. I just wanted to say, you guys just need to shut up. It's like you don't even know what you're talking about. It's like
exactly.
And it just confuses everything, and it just frustrating. After it was all over with, and I finally found my way to get some really good information, which is basically what we're just talking about. You got you got to treat it with copper. If you're not going to treat it with copper, then you got to get the fish out. You got to go fallow. The longer you fallow, the better off you are.
Your success will be, right? But you have someone like, say, Mike, right? Aaron's Aquarium. Okay, so budget. If you watch his stream, his last ever Friday night live stream on Saturday, belated, as he said, you can see his Achilles tang in the back, and he said, and he is riddled with ick. Is he happy and healthy right now? He's happy. He's eating. That's the good part. My concern and my and true fear for him is that when it drops off, how bad is that explosion going to be? Because every cyst of ick that you get is 200 when it pops out. All right, so when now he's got a pretty big volume of water. Yeah. If you have a 20-gallon tank and you have 500 cysts around your fish in that tank, do the math. You really know where it's coming from. So that's where. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, if you've had that small a tank, I mean, that's just like nuking it with it.
Yeah, you better be ready. Now, will your fish be okay? How was that budget was saying that? I kind of want to address that because that's important. And ick sucks balls.
I think it was about the quarantine tank he was talking to.
Oh no! I hope it never go through. I don't want anyone to go through ick. If you're careful, it won't.
Even if I don't like you, I don't want you to go through it.
Nope. Because the thing is,
I am not sure, but I think I saw some because they can have it on their fins also.
Usually, you'll see it on the fins. That's how you really spot it. You'll see it in the fins.
I've seen on my powder brown. I'm not sure.
Oh, by the way, once you saw it, it already fell off.
Like small white. I don't know.
That's the trick. Everybody, once you've seen it, it already fell off.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
That's the scar tissue from the. Okay. No. We'll just say that's from the parasite burrowing its way back out. Right. And now it drops off into your substrate. Right. And substrate can be the shells of inverts, coral plugs, coral rock, sand, the rough edges around your tank, your heater, any of that stuff. They just need a surface that's rough enough for them to actually grab onto. They will insist on it, and when they go poof, now there's 200 more, give or take. So that's the trick with ick. That's the out for. And tank's looking good there, Annika. So my current fish have had ick at least once. Yeah, exactly. So make sure I didn't go through. I did it again for 3 months, followed the second time. And that's just it. It's what you're willing to do. If you're not going to do that, you're going to then support your fish and hope that it burns itself out. It will eventually burn itself out. Doesn't mean it's gone. It just means there just wasn't enough food to support that population. But unfortunately, sometimes that means all your fish are going down. So if all your fish go down, it's time to just leave the tank for 3 months, right? And the real easy trick to this is to put, if you get new fish and you have them in a quarantine system and they're safe and they're happy, if you take the water from that and you're not treating it with copper, by the way, don't be an idiot like I know a guy did. take a couple of turkey basters full of that water, spray it in your tank, because the ammonia tricks the ick into thinking there's fish. So you can actually get them out of that cysting stage, looking for fish and dying because they don't have a food source, right? So there's a few tricks that you can use, but again, it's worse than heartbreaking, man. I have seen a guy's tank that made mine look good. I had it, jumped on it right away when there were a few spots. I saw a guy's fish that you could tell he wasn't going to make it through the night. It literally was everywhere. It was in his eyes. It was everywhere, right? Like this fish just was, it was over. I said, you can't save him. I said, you can try. I said, but I mean, it's just going to break your heart. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
So that's why I tell people, if you really love your fish, quarantining, I understand Nick and his point of view about quarantine, that you're stressing the fish, but you know what? That's the only way to make sure you're not putting it in your tank if it's not there, right? And he's like, well, how do you know it's not there? Well, if you haven't had it for a year, how do I have it if I haven't put anything in there? If you're quarantining everything, remember, that's what we're talking about. The only for sure, just observationally from my end, is if you're not putting anything in there that didn't go through a quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah, survival of the
I didn't quarantine my first fish either, but now I do.
Yeah. Do you quarantine your corals, though?
No.
Right. There you go. So, there's always a way in. Ick will find a way. It's a parasite. That's what it's looking for. So, like quarantine before you put it in. Yep.
Yeah. I know somebody who just lent somebody else's net, and that was it. As soon as he took his net back, it was in his tank.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. And it doesn't need water. Everyone's like, what? I said, I'm almost positive it doesn't need anything but moisture.
Yeah.
So it's starting to become a thing that I think they're going to look into it again. I've been reading up on a few UCLA and a couple other marine biology departments are starting to have a really good look at it again, and starting to think that they don't have it figured out, but they're starting to go, ooh, and if it's in the gut of tangs, that's huge, man. That's well, then again, that's why you feed them Ick Shield. That's the whole premise of Ick Shield and Hex Shield, is to put copper into the fish, right? So he eats it, because by the way, if you feed them that pellet, they'll eat it once, they'll never eat it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to pop in, Budget? I can pop you a link if you want to come in. Yeah.
Have you guys seen this video? It's called The Complete Betta Fish Life Cycle in 3 minutes.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh my God. It's really good. Like, they did a good job. I'll pop it in the in this chat, and you can put it in the, I don't know if I can send a link. Actually, maybe I can. Yeah, I saw you name this Oops. I thought that was funny. Oh yeah, I'm a mod, so I can. Oh, thank you for the wrench. I just noticed it. That's cool. Did you just do that today? Yeah. I see Craig. Craig, I see you're getting some attention.
Wow, my God, I'm talking. I got muted on the whole freaking time. Anyway.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah,
I
thought already.
Okay.
So
I was yakking the hell away, and I'm like, why is no one listening to me?
I said, thank you for the wrench. I just noticed it.
And you were saying something about I was getting attention from.
Yeah, I can tell that you're doing a really good stream when you get a flood of the down thumbs. Like,
that's nothing. Go look at the other one. There was one.
I saw it. I watched it unfold. I saw a couple of names pop into. And then it was a flood of people, and you got 9 in about a minute or two. I watched it happen.
Did you hear what I said?
What?
Yeah, attention's attention. Thank you for the attention.
Yeah. Well, I had said, I was like, oh, it's the usual suspects. I mean, it's,
exactly.
I don't care. I have a video that that was like 2/3 downvotes, and it was people that I know that follow me and love me, but they did not like the things that I was saying.
Yep.
I was getting real, and I knew it was going to be my most hated, but it was I got over 7,000 views before I put it into stasis mode.
Yep.
Because it was taking off, and it was a great video, but it started some conflict, and it was like, hey dudes, we need to address this. And that was like, maybe 6 months ago.
I love these guys bitching about the rain, and I'm sitting there going, I live in Canada. I got something better than rain. We get snow. I think you guys, anybody here seen the picture I showed of my car buried up to its roof? Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. I actually,
yeah.
I think,
we don't get snow here, but we get shitloads of rain.
Yeah.
Houston, we're known. We're the natural disaster place.
well, we don't get hurricanes. I mean, we
Nice
get
video from
Yeah.
the betas.
Yeah.
Well, no, we don't get hurricanes either because we're inland. The hurricane was the Irma. We were Hurricane Harvey, but we're inland, so we just got the rain from it. Like we didn't get a whole lot of the wind. It broke along the coast.
Yeah, Vicky, did you see the picture of that? Did you catch that one of my Jetta buried up to its roof? About 1.5 feet of snow on top of it? Yeah, people don't get it. It's like natural disasters. Yeah, that's okay. We don't need it. Yeah, you guys get floods over there. Yeah, we do too. I live on the St. John River Valley. If there's a dam that's got cracks in it, literally about 2 hours up the road, if that thing ever snaps, I don't want to be around.
So that's the other issue that we had out here is that we have all these dams.
We don't get
the
anything.
reservoirs.
No.
Yeah, we had all these reservoirs out here, and they were they had to control leak them.
Yep.
Because if they don't control leak them, they will burst, and then everybody's screwed. So the people that live right downstream from it that knew that, okay, if they let this go, if they break it, my house is gone.
Yep.
So they're like, no, don't. We're like, but if they don't break it, your house is gone. And so are like thousands more.
Oh, that falls under anything. We were talking about reefers that way. People are like that. People, again, it's the magic bottle for anything, right? I want to control my algae. I'll buy a bottle of this and it'll fix it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's other issues at work here, right? But go ahead.
I wanted to clarify something you said earlier when you were talking to Nick about your Pico challenge. My self-sustaining like Zen tank, I'm going to call it right now.
Okay.
My stoic tank.
Your stoic. Okay.
Yes. It is not going to be a Pico. It's just a Nano. So.
What size are you doing then?
I'm doing the 24.
A 24.
No, I'm doing the 24. I'm doing the same one I have now.
Okay.
But what I'm doing is I've got the mechanical. I'm taking off the training wheels over time. So I'm doing the mechanical filtration. And as I'm learning and I'm getting all my things in, like I'm getting my cycles so that I'm going to slowly back off. I'm going to take off the skimmer. Still going to bubble. I'm going to take off the skimmer, check I'm going to kind of slowly move things back. Good night, Vicky. But that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get so that I'm not dependent on the mechanical filtration as much. And then the bubbling will help quite a bit. Once I clean everything up with bubbling, I'll be able to bubble every night, and then I'll just catch it with filter floss. But aside from that, I think that I'll be able to do it. It's going to be getting from here to there. I don't think it's impossible, obviously, because there are people that do it.
No, there has to. You just have to keep an eye on your parameters.
That's what I'm going to do.
That's the big one. It's much more monitoring.
Yes.
Just to make sure it's doing its thing. And then once things reach homeostasis,
yes,
that's a big word for everybody. In other words, stability, right?
Yep.
Once it's done then you can deal with things as they come, so to speak, right?
Exactly.
So that's really, it's the same thing I'm doing now. My tank, like I was saying, is a much more bonsai. I'm going to show you how to scale down a reef to the point that you're controlling it in a much different way, right? So I'm hoping that all my clowns, everything, I want all my fish to smarten the fuck up is what I want so that I can get a different fish for this tank. I don't want to throw a clown in there because I got to protect them. I will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't want to lose them. But at the same token, that's not what I was shooting for. But I do have to sort of work around what I've got here and figure out what I'm doing. And I'm not sure yet because I'm thinking I might just put it on the end of my desk. And if I do that, then I can still look in it and I can still do things with it. And I'm going, I just figured out what I'm doing. Never mind. Got it all figured out. I made up my own mind right then and there.
Mhm.
Cool.
That's how to do it.
That's the whole thing. And plus, it gives me more room to work with. So, depending on lighting and everything else, because I got to talk to Jeeves too, because Jeeves is sending me a cool light that I'm going to use for this, and I'm going to mess around because the goal isn't the coral that's going in it; it's the size of the coral going in it. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it again bonsai. That's the only way to describe it. I think that's perfect. I think Nick had that just right when he said it earlier, or no, sorry, he cruised it. It's bonsai is what I'm doing, a bonsai reef. So we'll see. I'm just going to document it. Like, hey, this is how I set it up. This is what I did.
Yeah.
You can
That's
do
going to
this.
sound interesting.
I'm
That's
hoping.
interesting.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Going to look forward to seeing that.
You know what I mean? It's like somebody asked me what I thought led to my success in here. I got a big mouth. That's what led to my success, right?
You're also, I mean, me and another user said this behind your back, so we might as well say it to your face.
Oh, okay.
Some people, no names being mentioned, but we're just talking in general.
Okay.
People who live stream, not even any specific people in the reef community. So your live stream is sort of like your house, and you're inviting a bunch of people over, like you're having a house party, and they're all going to relax and chill out. Some people are the host, and the host needs to be the attention on themselves. And if anybody over in the corner is having a conversation, the host doesn't like it, the host shuts it down and maybe kicks someone out of the house party. And everybody, talks about like they kind of form alliances within the house. You are a different type of host. You're the type of host that you invite everybody over, and it's more important to you that everybody get along rather than everybody has to be on the same page. Some people are like, oh, well, if you don't agree with this, you need to leave. You're not that way. You also tend to, and I pointed this out, like I said, behind your back, you concede the conversation all the time, even when people cut you off. Most people don't do that. I noticed, like, one of the probably most common things I hear come out of your mouth is, and you were saying like that because that's the kind of host you are. You want the people within your house party, so to speak, to feel comfortable and like they can stay and like they can enjoy. You don't want to impose upon them.
And I also,
that's right.
Sorry.
That's right.
No. And I want people to, the ones who have the facts, you know what I mean? Or the one that I think has the fact to be the one who's speaking. You know what I mean? Because if I'm saying it, I don't want you to think I know it. I don't know everything. Holy God. The only thing I'm really good at is ick. Well, an algae control. You know what I mean? And algae control. I do have a good brain on that. You know
I'm gonna have to hit you up on the algae control because I know that my algae is just a matter of I've got a really high nutrient tank. I know that's my problem because
remember
I wouldn't have algae.
My description about most things I deal with on is fuck. Yes. That's how I deal with it. So, you know what I mean? But it's controlling that urge. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yep. So it is, thank you. Well, you know what? I appreciate that actually. You know what I mean? So, you're talking about me behind my back, are you? Yeah. Well, okay. Next time include me in it.
But
Go ahead.
I think she's totally right.
I try, and you know what? And Reef God was saying he wishes my subscription count was up. He wanted to get. I appreciate the fact that anybody wants to subscribe to my channel. Right? Yeah. If I can make a video that helps you, great. Yeah. What I mean, if I can run a live stream and you get the information you need to be successful, great. I'm not.
Yeah, but you can't go too fast because you have 147. I have 151. Yeah. You cannot cross me.
Oh, no.
Everybody that's in there, make sure you subscribe. I got to beat K Reef and this bleach bump tonight.
That's awesome.
My bleach bump pirates.
Bleach, baby, give me your hand. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I think you should have a lot of more.
It'll get there.
But I want you to grow slow because
you get there.
Michael and I have talked about this. Me and like even other people. Like I think
all they do is talk about my shit. Okay, go ahead.
No, but like even Joey and I kind of talked about it a little bit. Is that when people see a higher number, they attack you and they immediately assume that you have a higher number, that somehow that makes you think that you're better than others, even if you don't. Even if you say, you know what, I don't give a shit about my count, my following.
No,
because
exactly.
that was the number one thing everybody focused on, my number. Oh my God, how'd you get so and so? Oh, did you show your titties? Or you, and people would just assume.
No, only be a woman is enough, they
Yeah.
say.
Enough, yeah, exactly, right.
But that's true to an extent, which I do understand. Yes,
Yeah,
there's
a small
definitely a
part.
benefit to it, but there's also a lot of negatives to being a woman, in the sense that like the way people attack you is way different. Like with guys, they'll just kind of throw out some nasty comments. I get like some psychotic shit. Like I've had to make police reports over the kind of shit that I get. Like I'm not kidding. Like if you look up my name in California, I actually had to get a restraining order against a quote unquote fan. And it's crazy, like the shit that when people come after women versus men. But yes, I do understand, like your numbers are going to climb a lot faster as a woman, especially if you're competent at something. But that doesn't mean that like you used your sexuality to get there. And but yeah, as soon as people see those numbers, they start freaking out and they're like, oh, how'd you do this? How'd you do, or then they want favors. They're like, hey, can you give me a shout out on your video? It's like, no, I don't know you. I don't, or yeah.
Sorry, no, not you. I'm talking to my cat. Sorry.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Shut up.
You. No, you know what? And actually, we discussed that. No, you know what? We don't always talk when the streams are over. Sometimes we do. Yeah. That's because my cat's an idiot. You idiot.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You'll hear her meowing in a minute. She's going to get mad at me.
She says, I'm acting as my owner.
Oh, no. My female cat, there's pictures. Man, I'll tell you. My wife said, if looks could kill, this cat will look at my wife. Why are you still in the bed? Go away. Right. Oh, yeah. Just super jealous. And well, thanks, business. I appreciate it. Right. And that's just it. I'm here. I look at it this way. I worked in the entertainment industry for almost 30 years. I have played for Dust Bunnies. Okay. We used to have a joke. The band I played in was called Hush Puppy. One of them. And we used to say, we are Dust Bunny when it was empty. I played to an empty room. I still played.
Yeah. But it's because that's what you enjoy.
Right. So we had a good time. We did it. And, that's the way it is. So when you come in here, I don't look at it like I have to entertain you, but I do have a way I do things that is entertaining.
Yes.
Right. So,
and you set a calmness.
But it's like sitting all together on a coffee table, on a table and drinking coffee, and it feels like that,
Yeah.
Well, I know how to sit down and say, hey, today we have Annika O'Brien, we have K-Reef, Raven, and Tim from Tim's Tank. And gentlemen, ladies, let's get quibbling. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's kind of the way it is, right? Yeah. Go ahead.
I tend to not, like when somebody comes in, like if there's a bunch of people that come in, because I mean, I've joined streams that have like 70,000 viewers.
Yep.
Like I've been in some massive streams where they have to put timers on the chat. So you can only send a chat like every 200 seconds or something because there's so many people in it. And it's still flowing by so fast you don't catch it because there's just that many people. So I generally, as a rule, unless it's somebody that like I've been talking to earlier in the day or something, I generally don't like, hey, hi, so-and-so. If there's a bunch of people coming in and out, only because I know I'm going to miss someone. And then it's like, oh, there were 6 people that came in and I said hi to 5. And then the other person's like, oh, shit, I hope Annika and her are still on good terms. Because they're not going to say it. But then they're just going to notice, oh, she never says hi to me, but she always says hi to this other person.
Right.
So I tend to
when
only
Lisa
like
was
say
doing
hi to...
her first...
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm listening. Oh, no,
go ahead.
I'm listening.
When Lisa was doing her first stream some days ago, it was only me and her talking, and some people in the chat, and that was really nice, If it, like you say, when this chat goes so fast, you can't follow anything. It doesn't make you feel like you are a part in there. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make you feel like you're just watching. Then it doesn't feel for me that you are watching a live stream, or as we said before, you're not interacting.
Right. If you're not interacting with the people that are coming in, right, then you're not. I don't know. To me, interacting isn't hey, how you doing there? You know, and all. Look, I know how to schmooze. I am a king of that shit. You know what I mean? I got that down pat, folks. Trust me. You know, hey, baby, don't thank me, just buy my record. You know what I mean? I got that stuff down pat, right? You know, did it for years, right? I want to interact with the ones that are in here, because the thing is that maybe like business reef tank, he's fragging, he's doing his water change. We might say something and he then says something, and you know, it's valid. We need to talk about that. Why? Because he's got a really good point, or she, whatever the kid. You know, Vicky comes in here because it's entertaining.
Yeah.
So, and she may even say something, you know what I mean? And that's just it. The minute you marginalize, now you have a problem. Right. And that's just it. And that's, my stream will hopefully never go that way. I really do. You know, and God forbid it happens. But
as calm as you are, I know that you know how to lay down the banhammer.
I think what the funny part is I don't think anybody wants to watch me lose my shit.
I don't. I sure as fuck don't.
I
want to be there. I want to be there and like listen.
Yeah, there'll definitely be a moment of
invite me in.
Fuck.
Invite me in, but give me but give me 3.5 minutes so I can pop a bag of popcorn.
Yeah, exactly right.
Because I'm waiting for that day.
It's like Budget says, I'm here to learn. I'm
here to learn.
In some streams, it's sometimes not possible. Yeah, you can follow what they are saying, but if you really have a question, you pop your question in the chat, and it gets overlooked, of course, because it goes so fast, and your question will never be answered.
Exactly. Yeah, and even in the big ones, then you do have to. You know, that's what my moderators are going to be for. I'm not going to, you know, I may have to have a pre-meeting, you know, the warm-up show kind of deal, and tell my moderators, listen, if you see a good question, you got to get my attention.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's just it. You know, don't hand out wrenches because, you know,
just because,
just because, right? You know, and I've said it before, and, you know, for whoever's here, you're getting bullied. I want to know you're getting bullied. Right, because for one, I'm just not going to stand for it. It's a load of crap. We're all here to have a good time, right? Another thing is I don't want to see rude, derogatory comments, aka that's bullying. You don't think it is, but it is, right? You know what I mean? We're in here to have a good time. You don't like what's going on. You don't like who's in here. You don't like who's in the chat. There's other streams, folks. You know what I mean? You're more than welcome to be here. But if you really don't want to be here because of said person, whoever it is, okay, well, I wish you all the best and enjoy yourself, right? But if you want to be here and you want to be a civilized human being with the rest of us, go right ahead. You know what I mean? Because I really don't think you'll ever see me lose my shit. You'll see me go, you need to now leave. Here's the door. Don't let don't let it hit you on the ass on the way out. I don't want aspirins on my door. Right? So
exactly.
That's it, right? You know what I mean?
Well said. Well said.
I also don't care what level you're at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We all started somewhere. Right? I am not Cruz. In no way, shape, or form am I Nick. These guys, you know, have a level of understanding of what they're doing and an experience level I don't have yet, right? Yeah. But
I think it's great that it's mixed, mixed knowledge.
It is mixed,
great.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Because everyone is looking in a different view, you know.
Well, I think I've learned so much by coming onto these streams, so much in so little time. That makes any sense.
Same here.
Even just you saying about ick and fooling it by putting it into an empty tank, sort of like to that is just sort of like, to me, is just sort of like I'm learning.
I would rather you learn by my pain.
Exactly.
I had at one time, this is no lie, 9 tanks on the go.
Yeah.
9. And everyone's like, why? Because I needed one for my pistol shrimp and my goby. I needed one for these guys. I needed one for these guys. Because, you know, there's so many different ways you got to deal with it, right? Wow, don't get me on that, guys. Jesus, we'll be talking about it all night again.
Yeah.
There's other things to talk about in this hobby.
But that's what I'm saying is just by them little few things is I'm learning.
Yeah.
today.
Oh, I
you know.
have a question.
So
Sure,
really
go ahead.
quickly. No,
no.
Let him ask his question.
Okay. Go ahead, Kay.
I bought this toadstool, and I really wanted to have one with these green polyps, you know.
Sorry.
And it was looking really nice and green.
Sorry,
He had a
I'm
pretty
But-
toadstool. Now it's a thumb.
Yeah, now it's not. Okay, no, I'm just poking fun there. Go ahead, Kay.
Now it's not. So yeah, so it's after just 1 week in the tank, it's not green anymore.
It's all super pissed at you, right? Is what it looks like.
No,
Sulking.
it's open and everything, no problem.
Right.
But the green is gone. I don't know. Is it the
that's
top
gonna-
polyps
Now that
or
would be, just from what I kind of understand about softies, a little bit of lighting
Yeah,
Right.
I was going to say lighting.
and nutrients in the tank. Right, what's in the tank is the chemistry is different than where it was.
Yeah.
It should come around. My toadstool has been in my tank now for 6 months. It just looks like an angry blob in my tank. It's alive,
Yeah.
but it's never really come around. And I'm now sitting down going, I wonder if I take him out of there, if he hasn't grown to the rock, and it doesn't look like he really has, and I put him in my 20, which is a different lighting. You know what I mean? It's the same light, but it's newer. It's it's a little more intense, but I can put him in a shaded area, and it's got better flow, so to speak, because of the way things are going. I wonder if he'll do better, and that's where my brain's been. But I'm waiting on it because he is still alive. Oh,
Yeah,
somebody's
yeah.
feeding.
Yeah,
them.
man, it's fully open. But I remember when first pictures I took from it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you saw on really zoomed in on it, then you see on the tentacles from it on the top like this feathering
Yeah.
polyps, but I don't see them now. I have this, it's like pinkish, and I have the tentacles, but
Right.
it's like the polyps are not coming out.
What
So
light
I don't
did
know
you
if
see it
that
under
has to do
first?
also with
Yeah. What light did you see it under when you bought it?
Do you know what lights it was under?
What lights?
yeah, it was on the LEDs.
LEDs. Okay. Do you know what kind?
LEDs. LEDs. Yeah.
Oh no, I don't
Okay.
know what LEDs.
And is it under LEDs
I
now?
have LEDs. LEDs and T5s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Listen,
'cause
they give- go ahead, Raven. Go ahead.
yeah, I was going to say it's like today. Coral Gardens put out a thing about buying corals, for instance, and he was saying that he sold a coral, and the next thing he was walking around or whatever it was, and he saw this coral and he thought, that's fantastic. I love that coral.
Yeah, he bought his own coral
And-
back.
And he bought his own coral back, and because it was under a different
Yeah.
lighting, it changed. And then
Yeah.
when he put it back into his own tank, he went, "That's my coral. I just bought my own corals back."
Right.
So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
lights do have a big effect on
They do.
corals.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
and they
but
will make
when
them look different.
when I saw it, the 10 from
Right.
Tidal Gardens, he has this video about the toadstool, and he says there that they actually never change color. It would stay
They do
green.
when they're pissed off. They do when they're
Yeah.
pissed off. I can show
Yeah.
you one. You want to see it? I'll show
Yeah,
you.
so I asked him the question why mine didn't get, but he didn't answer on it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so budget. You're recycling my saltwater tank, but Michael Emery Fernandez answered me a question about lighting that I had. When you say LED and it was crappy, I do not remember this budget. Sorry, I get asked a lot of questions. I had to stop and do something else because I didn't have the proper one. Was it you that had the light strip? It was just a Fluval style white LED kind of thing that you get on the tank. Is that correct? Do I the cheap tube? Yeah. So yeah, that's what those are. Those budget LEDs that they sell with the tanks and everything. It will survive. It will not grow. Right. So maybe I'll just extrapolate on that a little bit and let you know what I mean. That's what we meant. It isn't that it won't keep it alive. Well, some of them won't. I'll say that with an ounce of if. I have one here. I have a light here. I know I can throw it on the tank, and it will provide a 6500K spectrum and keep it alive. It will also grow algae really well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My quarantine tank has this grow light for plants, you know, normally for a planted tank. And my turbinaria, I thought it was dead, but I think I take it out of my tank and I placed it in the quarantine tank, and it stayed there for like almost 2 months. And then I saw the polyps coming out again, and it was only white light, you know, this cheap light from. So now I placed it back in the tank, and it's doing fine again, you know, polyps extension. And so I was really surprised that it stayed alive or came back to life. Or just because this simple, cheap, small light. Of course, it has to color up again, of course.
You know, I'm kind of hoping to get more people in chatting here, because I got stuff I want to do on my tank, right? You know, but it's not important. It's just more the extras. I got the other stuff already done today, so I'm sort of like, when it comes to lighting, and it comes to softies, they're easy, right? They really are. They're not requiring a lot. But you know, just say that something can't change color. All it has to do is get in your tank and get pissed off. It'll change color.
Yep.
Right. That's all it takes. Right. I have seen red. What do you call it? Kenya tree. You know, the reddish. You know, kind of pinkish reddish stuff turn brown, because it just gets a lot of zooxanthellae in it, and away it goes. Yours could be getting ready to shed. Right. So
maybe.
You know, it's really hard to say.
Because of the also maybe because of the higher phosphates, you know, and like you say, and the zoanthes. Because I showed you the Montipora, the Confusa I had, you know.
Oh,
and it's coming back. And
you know what I think of coral? As much as I don't like tangs, I hate coral. I do. Right? Because
so even now, 2 days later, it's already starting to get a green color again, you know. So that's also that I know that my nutrients are getting better again. So that's why I also hope that the toadstool, because I really wanted a green and not a pink.
I got a green one. I got a big one. Actually, tell you what, I'm going to show you mine, okay, just for fun, since it's there. I just got to re-invite my second account so I can throw the phone up. Have you ever seen my setup budget? I've cheap and easy. Yeah, actually, Welsh has a really good setup that works really well. Bushido Bass. There we go. So that's done. So what I'll do, I'm going to grab a coffee, and you guys can get talking. And I am going to show you my toadstool, and you tell me if that's what yours looks like. And I can tell you that, you know what? It's kind of shitty. It is. I hate it that he's doing this. I want to get him looking like he should, which is tentacles out, doing his thing. But this is what I'm putting up with. He's just doing it, and this is what he's going to do for now until my tank swings around the way that he likes it. So I'll show you guys this in just a moment, okay?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
There was a beautiful, I think it's a toadstool leather. It's got the most fluorescent pink I've seen in a tank. Deep pink. Like not kind of pinkish, but like a solid pink. The entire thing is all pink dots, right? It's absolutely gorgeous. It's at my LFS. It's enormous too. Like it would fill my tank. I have a 24 gallon. It would go, it would touch all four sides. They want $1,200. It's so freaking gorgeous.
Just go there, go in there with a scissor and clip it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There we go. You guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so there we go. So this is my toadstool, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does he look happy to you?
He's sulking.
You know, he's sulking. He's doing his thing.
Not the green.
That's not green. If my white lights were properly up. Here, hold on.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, mine
so he's
looks
not
happier.
Okay, so the minute that you think that yours is, but by comparison, look at that devil's hand. See if I can get him in. So he's growing, he's happy as all can be, right? You know, and look, oh no, you know, like no, you know. I brought those redactors.
Oh man, you are doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong. How is it possible?
I know,
right? Oh man.
Yep. If you don't have them, you're not a reef keeper.
So, my wife just warned me I'm sounding condescending, and yeah, she's right, but I'm doing it on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, there wouldn't be stuff alive in the tank if I were doing something completely wrong, right? So, yeah, I'm just showing you, Kay, look at them. That is one unhappy mushroom or toadstool, right? He'll come around, hopefully. Yeah. Or my other idea, but I'm pretty sure he's attached to that rock, and I'm going to have to peel him off. So we'll see.
I have a small one. Yeah, I have a small one also, and he stayed like that for almost 1.5 months or 2 months, and now he started to open again. So.
I was going to say, toadstools can sulk for a long time. Yeah, they can sulk. Yeah. But,
wait, I was reading about the T8s.
Yeah.
One marine white and one actinic. Yeah, because I also wrote it in the chat. I was wondering about T8s, if there was also, if they could, if you could have them on a reef tank.
The T8s, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the doctor of Welsh Magic, he's talking T8 feature.
Yeah, Dr. Welsh of Welsh Magic, he's got to be English. Yeah.
So, but
got to come from.
Yeah, I know that the T8s, they are bigger, but I don't know if there is so much difference. I don't know what the difference is in there.
I think it's just
from the size,
bulb size. Yeah, just the bulb size. Yeah. Just the bulb size difference. T5s are the smaller ones. T8s are the bigger ones. So yeah, you could probably put more T5s into your aquarium than T8s.
Yeah.
But big one. Yeah, I mean canisters are still fine. So I'm just reading the chat as well now. So, but yeah. I mean canisters are fine if you. The thing with a sump is you could do more with a sump. Yeah.
It actually, I'm back. I use that opportunity. This bathroom break brought to you by Went for Coffee. So, a sump lets you hide your equipment. Number one, that's the biggest one. Two, it gives you
like
a little more flexibility. I like a canister filter. I do. A canister filter. Man, I can clean a tank so fast. And everyone's like, oh, but it's a nitrate factory. So is your sump.
Sump.
Of course, if you don't clean it, you keep your sump clean.
Yeah.
I have no filter socks. And I have no filter socks. So after 2 months, that I had fish in the tank, because of course the first 2 months I didn't have any fish, but then my tank was running 4 or 5 months. You should have seen the detritus in both my sumps, because I didn't had any filter socks. So, and then I just made a small compartment where I put these filter pads, and I changed them every 3 days. And now there is nothing. It's just clean. And you see your nitrates and phosphates just going down,
Yeah, somebody asked me about. I use ChemiPure Blue, and the reason I use ChemiPure Blue is it is the best water polisher on the goddamn market. It will polish off your water so fast it's not even funny. So
we can't get ChemiPure here.
You guys can't get it, eh? Yeah, because Boyd Chemicals doesn't have an agreement. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's just it, because there's things in it. And basically all it is carbon, their version of it. Probably Roxate, I'm going to imagine, ROX 0.08, and GFO and Purigen. That's basically what it is. Their proprietary blend of that stuff. So, does it work for nitrates? Nope. Not at all.
Right.
My nitrates in that tank that I just showed you are 50. My phosphates are undetectable technically by my what do you call it? I'd say they're at somewhere between 0.25 and 0.10, somewhere in that range. That's where they are. So carbon and GFO is the elite. You got it, Welsh. That's exactly it. So when you get into it and you're thinking about these things, right? These aren't magic bullets. When we're talking about magic bullets, we're talking about buying Dino X and it's going to magically clear up your algae problems and they're never coming back. Why are you having the algae problem in the first place? I know why I'm having the algae problem. I just told you, you guys can figure out I have 50 ppm of nitrates in my tank. Something is feeding the nitrates, which is feeding the bit of algae that I have in my tank, and it's brown algae, which means it's easily controllable, right? So green hair algae, on the other hand, I'd probably have a fit if I got that in my 120, right? But I have fish that eat it, so they keep it under control, right? It's all about finding a balance that between all that stuff, it takes care of it, right? Now, the algae marine fix I talked about, I will try that eventually on my bubble algae in the 120. I just want to beat it back enough that it's not pervasive. And I have it there now, but I want it just a little bit more so that when I put crabs in there, I don't need to put them in there because they'll starve. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing is that you got to remember, if I don't have enough bubble algae in there, the emerald crab's going to starve to death. You know what I mean? Unless he figures out to eat pellets, right? Which means then I got to feed too much to get him pellets, right? So, you know, it's striking a balance. That's all it's really about, I think, is finding that, then keeping it stable. Go ahead.
I bought a fox face when I had that's actually, I had cyano in the start and that disappeared, and then I had the bubble algae, and I bought a fox face and he cleared it all.
Yeah, my fox face, I think he is. I want to hope he is because he's awful fat. You've seen my fox face in that tank, haven't you, Kay? If you watch the start of my videos, you can see him. That's one fat ass happy fish. Right? And I've had him since he was 4.5 inches long, and he's now almost 8 inches long. Right? So, you know, he's never going anywhere. He's like he's probably my most chill fish too. So if he's getting upset, I know something's going on. So he's not really acting all that weird about what's going on, but I do know somebody bit the fin off my firefish and somebody's been nipping at my female clown. And I'm going to guess it's the Tang because he's the one hanging out in that area going, hi, yeah, this is my territory, right? I don't want to have to get rid of them, but I will. You know what I mean? If I have to, I'll take them out because, you know what? There's other fish to be had, folks. And Tangs are just a pain in the ass. It's every time I say I'm not going to, you know what? And I'm just like Mike. Nope, no more Tangs. I'm done.
No more Tangs.
Yeah, and then boom, there's a Tang. What do you get it for? Because he's so pretty. You know, like they are. They're just
I added my tanks after first the small fish and then the tanks. But I am for now. I hold on wood. I have luck with my fish, you know. I put them in there, not even all together, you know. First a tang, and some months later another tang, and then another tang. They just come along. They never fight. Never see them fight. You know, my yellow tang, he had a problem when I put in the fox face, but it was not that they fight, but he pushed him. He pushed him away always, like, no, you don't come and feed here. That's my food, you know. When I went to feed, but after just 2 weeks, it stopped, and now they are always swimming together.
Yeah, people are too quick to jump on it right now. If I were a knee-jerk reaction kind of person, the first thing I'd be doing is pulling that Tang out today because there's marks on my fish. Doesn't really work that way. You shouldn't really be doing it that way, right? But I mean, you can if you're going to do that and you think it's going to make you feel better. But if I leave it alone, it may resolve itself. Like my two clowns whooping each other's ass in that tank. I mean, let's see here. I don't know why I paused that, but there we go. And make sure I don't cut everybody off and do what I did last time. There we go. So this is my 20 that I put it on. And this is my two clowns, okay? And look at that torch. Look at it. Do it. Yeah. So if you watch those clowns, they may start getting a little frisky at each other again. But her, the one right in front there, she's pushed him away. right? She, for whatever reason, and she's bit him up a little bit, but you know what? She's not actively whooping on his ass today, so I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I'd rather leave them both in there if I could, right? And those that have been watching me for a little while all know that rock did not look like that even 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right? So how did I do that?
Here in the front, yes.
I controlled all those nutrients, made sure I wasn't overfeeding. I got the skimmer humming along, got everything in order, made sure my light cycle was right. And then I went at that algae on the rock with, what do you call it? Peroxide, right? 3%, nothing more. I took the rock out, scrubbed it, sprayed it. Now this rock here, I didn't. I just sprayed it. I barely touched it. Okay. And it's still gone, right? Now it clogged up my bloody filter socks like crazy, but it worked. And the other one I scrubbed, and it made really no difference. So cleaning the rock off, no. It's all about how long you let the peroxide sit on the algae and oxidize it, right? So everyone then goes, oh, well, it's going to kill your bio life. Again, fish in tank, everybody's healthy, sea chem stability, and everything's going well. I'm not saying like this is I don't want to say it. Anyway, all this shows is that it worked for me, right? Will it work for you if implemented properly? No, they start to sexually define each other fairly quickly. Budget, they're really quick at it.
One is bigger. When one is bigger, it starts.
Yeah, so she's pushing the other one, and the other one may have already started to try to go feed. They were mated when I got them. They were together and happy. Oh, hello, Mr. Lubbock's Ras. I lost track. Anyway, on to the next thing.
You got distracted.
You got distracted. Fish went by.
Yeah,
went full away.
Yeah, went full magpie.
Go away.
Full magpie.
Yeah. But,
go ahead.
Clowns can reject their partners as well.
Oh yes. Yep.
So
if you came home drunk.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you know what I am liking? Can you guys see
I saw you
this?
looking at that tang. I saw you looking at that tang.
Yeah.
Go there. Go swim with the tang.
You were up with the wrasse, weren't you? Yeah. The one with the dots on it is a flurry, and the male, the little guy, is a Wyoming white. But if you look at that rainbow, that Indonesian rainbow torch right there, guys, can you see the stripes now forming on the tentacles? It's almost like a goldish line in that purple.
Yeah.
Oh, so expensive, but so worth it. Yeah, that's a flurry right there. That's the female, or what I perceive is becoming the female. Yeah. So, and each of those dots has like a blue ring around it too. I wish you could see that, but it's hard to get the lighting right for that. So I'm working on it. A yellow-eyed coal tang. Cool. I like yellow-eyed coal tangs.
My girlfriend wants that one, and I think because I don't want to add too big fish, So I have now 4 or 5 fish that gets quite big, and I don't want to add too much. But she liked that one, and the yellow-eyed coal tang doesn't get so big, So I said, okay, that one we can still add.
I like Scopus too. Scopus are very chill from that genus, right?
So, are they?
Yeah, they're pretty chill fish.
Okay, because that's a nice fish also.
Yeah, Scopus tangs. The problem is everybody wants the purple tang or the black tang or the yellow tang.
Tang.
Yeah, and those guys are frickin' dicks. I've never seen a yellow tang that didn't turn into a douchebag at some point. You know what I mean? But that's, they don't show up. And the worst part is they don't show it until you added somebody new. I must kill it. You know what I mean? So, it's... Yeah, Scopus are very underrated. Now they got that mottled or malted or whatever the hell you want to call it ones. And they're pretty nice. And
maybe you should add them as the last one then.
That's what I always tell everybody. Make sure it's the last fish.
Yeah, but that never happens. Because you'll go out and you'll see something else that you'd want.
No, exactly.
I'm going to add the coal tang, and then a banded copper band. and for the rest, I'm going to add some more small fish, and that's it.
You want to see a nice
Don't want to
copper band
overdo it.
butterfly? Go to my videos and watch the one on bubbling, and I show you the one at the local fish store. And I do mention that he's
Oh.
going into a rough and tumble tank, and that guy can disagree with me locally. Kiss my ass. I know you lost 2. Yeah, you know what I mean? So they were killed by your other fish. They didn't starve. They were eating, so too bad. You know what I mean? Tell me what happened in the tank that's different. We know what happened. It's a rough and tumble tank. It's the way it is. If you're willing to pay for the fish and have them die, and that's your point, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, where I got the lawnmower Blenny from, the guy that had took it out his tank because it got attacked by another fish. He had a copper band in his tank, and a really nice one, beautiful, and he was feeding it, and you see, it comes and eat. And so I said to him, I'm very interested to also have one, and that's one of these guys, no, don't take it because they are really difficult fish. And but you have one in your tank and it's doing well, so why can't I take the chance?
What you think you're special?
No, don't take it, and it's hard to find a good one, and blah blah blah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Why are you telling me not to keep it if you have one, right? I'll warn you about it. They're really hard to keep, man. You got to be right on top of it, blah, blah, blah. And I will tell you if I do that
like
kind of
that.
person, that's different. But I love the ones that, no, you don't want it. What do you mean, no? Right? That's the first way you're going to...
No, don't do it.
Sure. I'm more like, you can get one. Just remember they're hard to keep. And you really got to, people don't word things right. People just want their tank to be special. I have one. Okay,
who knows Dutch Reefer?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh, he is hiding.
Do you maybe know?
What's that?
Know him, Dutch Reefer? Dutch Reefer, do you know him?
Dutch Reefer? No, I don't think I've bumped into him yet.
Before, his name was before Anton Post, and he changed his name to Dutch Reefer. You should look him up. It's one of the only ones I know on YouTube that is from Holland that is doing, but he is also doing only in English. But he has a really nice tank, a really beautiful tank, and he has also this copper band. And from the moment when he uses a small net with food in, he puts that net in, and the copper band is in there. It's really, really nice to see that. It's really cool.
I
He
think
has a
if
really
I could
beautiful
ever talk
tank.
life into another fish, that'll be the easy one. Is getting a copper band, but I don't want to put them in until I got my tank kind of leveled off, because they don't like change. That is the hard part for them. If the parameters in the tank are swinging around a bit, they tend to really flip out. They're very sensitive fish, I guess, for lack of a better term. But if your tank is doing nice and stable and things are going well, I can't see why not. You know what I mean? As long as he's feeding, like if you watch that video, you'll see like eating right out of this guy's hand. He's ready to go. He's eating. He's doing his thing. Then when you get home, if you repeat that procedure, so you give him time to settle, and then you do the same thing and get him doing the same thing, cool. You know what I mean? Cool. Why
that's
not?
Cool.
Right? But, it's the ones that throw them in, and then it's like, I'm going to throw this rock in that has oysters on it, and it's covered with a net. Well, that's good, but did you make him eat from your hand like he was at the store, or how it was done at the store? Because that's what he's now used to, and now he's stressed. So, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You should always see him eat first.
Yeah, I think also a lot of people, and maybe maybe here, I don't know how it's there, but a lot of people here, they see them as eating, Aptasia,
Yeah,
they will.
They don't always.
I have. No, they don't. They will, but some people say they don't eat, but they will eat Aptasia. But I'm not going to rely on my fish will only eat Aptasia, and he will find enough Aptasia in my tank. I have some, but not much. It can be much, of course, if I don't do something, but I always fight them. So, but you need to be sure if you buy one like that he also eats something more than only Aptasia,
Yippers. You have to, because otherwise at some point he's going to run out of food. Oh, and now he won't eat from your hand, or he won't eat from that. Yeah, that's the problem, right? That's what you got to research what you're getting into before you get into it, and that's what a lot of people don't want to do in this hobby. I'm just enthralled with that torch. Sorry, guys.
No.
I just keep looking at that torch and going, that was a good buy. That was a good get.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, torches are nice.
Yeah.
They just add that sway.
Yeah.
So,
you know, and I've got everything just humming the right way in this tank, and I'm hoping it really, 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 really takes off. Yeah. The sun coral, the NPS coral, of all the corals, the one that's suffering the most in my tank. And I can feed them, and I got to feed tonight. You got to feed those guys, right? And I'm sitting there going,
you need to feed them.
Yeah.
You know, if they're not open, how do I get them open? So
see, I don't
feed a little bit, and then they should open.
Yeah, go ahead there, Raven.
I don't feed any of my corals.
No, most people don't.
No. And what I tend to find.
Do you have NPS?
I have LPS.
No, I have NPS. Sun corals and NPS, non-photosynthetic.
Yeah. And NPS, you have to feed them. I broadcast feed sometimes. The what's it called again? Reefroids.
Reefroids.
Reefroids, yeah.
Yeah, I do heavy feeding.
And I dose Phyto also.
And Phyto?
Yeah. So, let's see if I can stick my nanotape. The lights are out at the moment, but
if you look up Billy Pipes budget, Billy Pipes Reefroids, just look him up and watch he'll show you how he feeds corals. Right? And that's how I started doing it for the NPS, and I give the other guys some, but like LPS, they don't want you to put a lot of crap on them. They really don't like it at all, right? So come on, cat, stop climbing up my chair. Jeez,
yeah, that's my tank at the moment. The lights are all off.
Oh yeah, my tank is full, totally dark.
Just a second, presenting.
Yeah. My Kenya's trees have gone to sleep.
Yep.
So,
yeah, your lights would be off. It's later. It's late.
Yeah.
So you got two tanks.
Yeah, and you can see my my RAS has been destroying everything.
Yeah, that's what they do. They do that.
Yeah.
What did he destroy?
Yeah, but feeding coral. Oh, and I guess to answer your question, budget. Yeah, so you can feed your corals reefroids. I have Reef Frenzy, two little fishies, zooplankton, phytoplankton.
Yeah.
And you can broadcast this in the tank. So you put it in the tank and it just flows around the tank and they feed off it. And what is that, Galaxia or algae?
Which one?
The green one you're in front of. Yeah.
That's what algae.
Oh. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's his algae island.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike loves that. Absolutely loves that.
Yeah, it is. It's really pretty. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just grown in two balls.
Yeah.
And then in between that, I don't know if you can see there's a little brown patch. That's GPS. Green star polyps.
Yeah, so the only way you get rid of that is take that rock out and spray it with peroxide. But it's
would you want to do that?
Exactly. No. If you did it, it's going to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. That is taking nitrates out and things like that.
Your tank. Yeah.
And the thing is, I can always cut it back a bit.
Yep. You can prune it. Yeah.
Prune it.
The biggest rock, a flat rock I have on the top of my escape, that's the only place where I had 3 or 4 dots of hair algae, just small dots.
Yeah.
And my father always said, "Why don't you clean that out?" No, I keep it in there because then I can see what's happening in the tank, if it gets more or if they go away.
Yeah.
And now it's all gone, so I know that my water is in check now. So
yeah, exactly. You see your balance. If it starts to grow too much, you know something's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so
I've got
I kept
Monty
it in
out
there as purpose.
Yeah. But that Monty, all the stuff's still out. All the polyps are still out on that. That's out all the time.
What 4 month is that? Because he's coming branches out also.
Yeah, it's just green plating, encrusting.
Okay.
No, exactly.
So, but Yeah, I can't exactly remember the name of it, but it's really bright. It's really fluorescent, and I've got some red. The other one to the right of that is Disney Confucius or something. So yeah, but because these are under metal halides, so like you can see, these just go brown. These, if I can get them there. So they and again with that one.
What's that?
So that's plating. But that's just because of the lighting.
Yeah, it's just the lighting.
Yeah, but they got little white tips on them. They're growing.
Yeah, they're actually not dying. They're even if they weren't, as long as they're alive, you know, it's a matter of you can work from that point, right?
Yeah. But they've been knocked all over the place. Literally, they've been thrown around the tank. Unbelievable. You know, and as long as I catch them in time, you know, because like I said, the wrasse just pushes everything everywhere, and then I've got a few crabs in there as well, which knock things over. So they're not tied down yet. Most people would glue them down straight away, but again, sort of like, you know, I know that I'm gonna be taking these and putting them into another tank. So if I glue them down and then they're not happy in the new tank where I put them, I'm not going to be able to move them.
No, so, exactly.
You know,
I'm sorry. I'm finally dry skimming, like perfectly.
Nice.
I've had it running for an hour, and I've just since I cleaned it out, and the foam is pushing up, but not too much. But I'm noticing that stuff is collecting at the top of the foam, and nothing is in the cup yet. And it's been an hour, but I can tell it's going to because it's progressing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a pretty dry skim if I let it go overnight, which will be really good. Nick actually, I was showing him my tank, and he's like, "Whoa, you have a lot of water in your cup." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You need to do this and that," and so he was showing me exactly how to do it, how to open and close it. He kind of walked me through how the science of it works.
Yeah.
And now, at first I was just tons of water was going in it, but now I'm like pure foam is going up in there. So by the time it gets in the cup, it's going to be black.
Yeah,
this would be really good because I don't know if you guys know, but I have my cup is only a couple ounces. It doesn't hold very much at all. It's a teeny tiny skimmer built for a nano.
That's my cup for this skimmer.
I like the skimmer now that I figured it out. Which let me see.
That's how big it is.
Yeah, mine is the Aquatic Life. It's a good skimmer. It just there was a break-in period. Wow, yours is a lot smaller than mine, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's just an air stone.
Yeah.
That's it. Now I've got to put it back, but yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
And I've got a tube that runs down into a bottle.
Yep, which lets you lets it do more work.
Yeah.
How often do you guys break down your like all of your like your skimmer and all that and soak it and clean it? Like, do you do it very often or?
No, I clean my skimmer cup maybe once every couple of weeks, and the skimmer itself, unless it grows algae in it, no, I leave it alone. Yeah, because then you got to go through a break-in period again.
That's exactly.
Look, it's the doodle.
It's the doodle. He's pitched my chair again.
I clean it in the skimmer. I take it apart every 3 months, but just to get some detritus out there and for the pump to clean the pump but not too major cleaning, you know, just with some RO water and.
No, exactly. You know what I mean? It's what it is, right? So, you know, don't panic about clean your skimmer a lot more than people think. I know people that never touch their skimmer, and it's like that's not necessarily a good idea. You should be cleaning at least the pump.
Yeah. Well, and because mine's so small, I don't want it to get worn out trying to push through, you know, with a bunch of gunk in it.
Exactly. Well, you'll see its performance change.
Yeah.
And if you start seeing the performance change, time to clean it.
Once I start bubbling, that son of a gun is going to be full for. I'm going to have to change this. I'm going to have to dump out the skimmer cup like every hour, I think, while I'm bubbling. So I have visible layers of stuff on the sand now that I moved one rock. I didn't move the sand. I moved it so that you can see what was already exposed. So it was already exposed to the water. And so
You
I'm
get,
like,
you haven't shown your new. You said you changed your rockscape. Did you add those new rocks?
Not significantly. Yeah, I added those rocks. I didn't remove any rocks because I didn't want to. I didn't want to remove. I didn't want to mess up the balance. I took that broken Monty cap in this morning to my fish store, and I ended up getting a couple of. I think they're called flower anemones.
Oh yeah.
Did you see them?
Rock anemones, rock flower anemones. Yeah.
Rock, yeah.
Yeah.
They are. So
they are nice.
Pretty.
They seem to be the in thing at the moment.
You know what it is because people think they don't eat their fish because you'll have an LFS guy tell you and show you, and I've had my guy do it, and then he looks at me and goes, "Yeah, they ate a clown goby last night. Told you."
Yeah.
Right. Wait, mine are teeny tiny though.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh
if you
God.
can put it in his mouth.
They grow.
They grow.
Right? They gotta eat something. Yeah.
Shit.
So.
Yeah.
Did you see?
I don't know.
Earlier?
I don't know which channel it was. I don't remember, but I saw once he had a nano tank, I think, a cube, and he had only these rock anemones on there, and that was a color palette. It was really beautiful.
Yeah, it would be.
I don't remember where I saw it.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Alika?
Oh no! Did you see the ones that one of them, I got it because it's the guy. Like they get a bunch of different colors through. This one's peach, and I hadn't seen a peach one. They get a lot of reds and pinks and orange and green. But this one was like very unique. And then you can't really see it in the lighting. And when I turn it on lights, you really can't see it. The color. I'm gonna have to get a gel filter for my camera. I think because I'm gonna be taking pictures.
Everybody does. That's how it starts. Then you'll be doing videos, and then you'll be in with us. It's the way it works, right?
But I saw someone doing it now with with the night the yellow goggles,
yellow filter,
glasses.
Yep, yellow filter.
The yellow glasses, just like that, and it also shows the color really nice.
Yeah, I have blue light, so should I get a blue gel filter?
Nope, yellow.
Yellow. Okay,
Yellow,
so it's the opposite side of the
spectrum.
Okay.
Yep, because it filters out the blue, right?
Yeah.
But it's also false because it's not really giving you the true color, right?
Yeah.
But it looks good. You know what I mean?
If I can get it so it looks as good, if it looks as realistic as it is, because that's what I'm going for. I don't want to just be impressive with weird ass colors.
Well, let's be honest. If we put a blue filter or a yellow filter on this light right now that you're looking at, that torch would stun the living crap out of you, right?
Yeah.
It really would. Trust me. You would see the gold stripe up the tentacles. You would see the way that why I got it, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's like, well, why don't you do something to get the, the lighting right? And it's like, well, if you've got $900, I'm more than happy to put Kessels on you. You know what I mean? I really am. You got free, 50 Hydra 52s or
you'll
anything.
take the time to put them up if we buy them for you.
You're right. I'll do it right away. It'll be up there. Yeah. Exactly, right?
Oh, well, like I said about Dutch Reefer, Dr. of Welsh, he commented on it. He said, I know him. He has this, I don't remember the name now from the light fixture. But, he films his tank without...
I think
without
it's a Giesman, I think.
Yeah, Giesman, Giesman.
Aurora.
So he films it without an... how you say it again? Oh, that English language.
What are you?
He does it without a
orange
filter?
or yellow.
Filter.
Yeah, without a filter. Yeah, without a filter. But when you see that tank, his corals, they just pop out. It's really incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know what camera he's using either, of course.
You speak Dutch, right? You're in.
Yeah.
What language do you speak? Oh, okay, never mind then.
I speak Dutch and German, France, Swedish, and some English.
Okay. Oh my God, dude, you got a little Blinny right there.
You like him?
Oh my God.
His name is Casper.
My Blinny is big. Like he's
is
a
it the friendly
size.
ghost?
Yeah, that's why he was so white when I got him. He was so tiny. And he was so thin, and if you look at him now, you look at his big fat algae gut, and he's a happy fish.
Do they
Yeah.
eat algae?
They eat
Like,
algae. Yep.
Okay. Even the Midas Blenny?
Not all blennies do. No.
Okay.
I don't think Midas are that heavy duty on it.
Yeah.
But
No.
the thing that the problem with blennies, if you can't get too many. Right. There's a few you can get that interact very well,
Mhm.
but like anything, you need dissimilar species because, like wrasses, every time I see a tank full of wrasses, I'm like, when's the warfare going to start?
Yep.
Right? Because they're
Because I would
wrasses.
love to get a tank just filled with all wrasses. Kind of how people do with African cichlids.
Yep.
Where they do like a full-on every type of cichlid you can imagine. I'd love to do that with wrasses, but a little bit of research I've done says that's not a good idea.
No. But no, it's
Right,
definitely. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say I'm going to shoot off now, but I'll be in chat still. I'm
Okay,
shoot off
that's
of here because I'm going to go. I'm going to go to bed. It's late.
I know it is, man. It's getting late there for sure.
So-
12:44.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Mad Hatter
1:44 here, so I'm soon going also. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
That's all right, Kay.
Yeah, but I stay here because of about Mad
Hey.
Hatter.
Yeah.
She's going to start. I saw it also.
Yeah, he started a subscription box service.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A lot of. Hey, baby, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, why don't you go put your clothes back on? Hold on.
Sure. So no, that's cool, Raven. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm sure. Yeah.
But Annika, it was like he didn't dare to tell it on his video. I think it was a strange explanation.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's Mad Hatter's Reef, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It got stuck a little bit, I think.
Yeah. That happens to
With
me all
Mad
the time.
Hatter's Reef.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he didn't want to mention my aquarium box or something. I don't know.
Well, you know what? It's just being polite too, right? You know, let's be honest.
Yeah, of course. But it. I think he wasn't sure first if he would put out a video or how people would react on it and stuff like that. But I think it should not be a problem, you know.
No.
If you want to do this, and he wants to try also to do it different. So.
Oh yeah, I see what he's doing there. Yeah.
It's too far away for me.
Exactly.
Can't order it.
Exactly. So.
It's with everything, you know. I see on all your channels, and then I think, oh yeah, we can't get that here, or we can't get that here.
Nope, I can't get like my aquarium box in Canada, right? They're not allowed, right? So, you know, I can bring it in myself. It's perfectly legal, but I'd have to have a post office box down in the States, right? I'm only an hour and a half from the border, but still, I'd have to get a passport, get everything set up so I could actually cross the border, go pick it up, and bring it back, right? And I have a chart of someone's ransoms. It's a bit expensive, yes. Oh god, sorry, budget. I'm trying to pay attention. It just I told you that
1 month.
Yeah.
3 months of 6 months.
Yeah, there's a little fee-based thing for it, but I think I have aim to help community research.
But I think you get nice stuff in it because he also said that you get more than what you pay for.
Yeah, my aquarium box is actually available to you. Budget.
Yeah, I think through the UK.
Through the UK. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I can get that also through the UK, but I'm not sure. But I think I can. Yeah.
The only place you can't is Canada and Asia. Yeah, and Russia, like that kind of thing. Anywhere other than continental Europe, UK, and US, because they have a distributor in the US so they're different. Right, it's my aquarium box, but it's different stuff in it every month versus what's in the UK European one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there we go. So I'm going to end. I've had a wonderful time with everybody tonight, and
yeah, it was a great chat again. I'm always happy to be here with all of you. It's always nice.
Exactly, and I'm going to hop off and. Yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah,
going to
talk
do.
to you later.
Exactly. I'm sure I'll be around this week sometime. You know, I seem to do it every day, but we'll see. You know,
Yeah, if you guys don't see or hear me in some days, then you
then
know
we
what
know that the
happened.
baby came. Exactly. Good
Yeah.
luck, buddy. Hope it goes well.
Yeah, thank you very much, and see you all soon again. Thank you for the nice chat.
Anytime, Kay. Always welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And Annika, same thing. I'm going to pop off just in case you can't hear me. Raven, same thing. I'm going to have a few more coffees. Tim, have a good night, buddy. Everybody, I'll see you soon. Thanks for dropping in.